And welcome to session 3 of Dire Rolls. Yeah. Good evening, everybody. We are picking up where we last left, where our group of intrepid adventurers made a choice that we don't recommend children doing or anyone doing for legal reasons.
Please.
We dare
Drug dealing.
say yes.
Then finally boarding.
Okay.
Then finally boarding Eddie the Yetkin's ship, we headed our way towards the port city of Rock in Drake. Along the way, there was a little bit of some fishy trouble as the party encountered the Wandering Kraken. But thanks to the watchful eye of Drake's essentially Coast Guard, they were able to escape the clutches of what would have more than likely been their death. And today we pick up at the port city of Drake. Now, before we go into the intro, anyone have any announcements or anything they'd like to say?
I'll be at Anime New Mexico whenever that date is. I didn't pull it up, so forgive me on that. Just check the last episode. You'll see it there.
So, with that, let's hit that intro.
Come in, you losers!
D&D, they will!
Let's
I
go!
could have sworn I left that other D4 here, though.
Hey guys! Fireball over the Alright guys, balls are ready. Get to the table!
And welcome back. So, you find yourselves finally boarding solid land for the first time within 4 days. The sound of bustling streets and busy, skilled craftsmen hard at work. Eddie ties off the boat to essentially what looks like a subdock to the much larger main port. He goes and pays off the deckhand to essentially rent the spot for the next couple of days as supplies are taken by what seem to be differing races of deckhands, quick to their job and diligent in what they're doing. All right, we'll be here for a couple days. Feel free to look around, but just be ready to meet back here for at least sundown in 2 days. Have fun. And as he says that, he's going to follow what looks to be a man who came in with the deckhands, but fairly well dressed with very few features poking through the heavy clothing that he has on. And with that, Eddie walks off.
Oh, goodbye. So,
Now what? Well, anybody
Let's
been here
try
before?
not to get kicked out.
Yeah. Smart decision.
Just try. Maybe.
I mean, I figure we should take in, start with the police, see if anybody's seen anything weird.
Should we start with the Adventurers Guild?
that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, although even, didn't like I say, like only a few people know in the guild, so it may not just want to take it, just be asking everybody and anybody in the guild.
We still have that sending scroll, do we not?
Yeah.
Yes.
We could go and send off, said, hey, made it to a rock. Is there somebody here that we should talk to? Or any leads that you wish to give us?
TLDR version of that?
That was the TLDR.
You know, the scroll only works for 10 words.
Yes.
On rock, who do we talk to?
But up bump bump.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It works.
All right, well,
Wait, who do we talk to? Any leads. Wait, any leads.
Syllables don't count as words.
I know. Heard that Cameron is smart. Heard dirt.
Yeah,
I think the character is smarter than Cameron as a person.
Alright, well,
all right, well, pull out the scroll and write down basically our question.
As you do, the ink, almost as soon as you finish writing it, begins disappearing.
Ooh.
And it takes a couple seconds. You can feel the magical effects working. But you get a response. You have reached the desk of Astier de Leon. I am currently out. Please wait for my message.
Hidden word, I thought.
He's not there.
Well, I'm assuming you left a message, though, yes?
I did.
Well, then I believe.
And I got put on voicemail or sending mail,
Scroll mail.
scroll mail.
Magic mail.
Scroll mail, isn't that just mail?
Magic mail.
yeah,
Sending mail.
yeah, maybe we should just go to the Adventurers Guild and just ask if anybody's like seen anything weird. Just make it vague.
Go and see if there's any work to be had while we're at it. We obviously have some time to kill.
I mean, that is kind of work.
Well, I mean, spell work, side work.
Side quest.
And Rolt, as you look down, you can see this girl, maybe about 3 or 4 years of age, slightly ragged clothing, pulling on your tunic.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and crouch down, on one knee. Hello, little girl. How may I help you today?
Hey, lost my mom.
You lost your mother? Oh, that's such terrible. Well, it seems we have a job after all, adventurers. Well, then, do you know what she looks like or what her name is?
Her name is Mommy,
Her name is Mom.
and she's very pretty.
Oh, that's a good description. Can you tell me what color is her hair?
And she's gonna point at your fur.
Oh, a fine color indeed. Well then, do you know where you lost her at or when the last time you saw her was?
At lunch.
At
And
lunch.
you would know it'd be about 3 in the afternoon at this point.
Oh, did you have lunch at your house or did you eat somewhere over here?
And she's gonna point up as there's stairs that lead up from the subdocks to what looks where you can kind of start to see the canopy of tents on the main dock.
Okay. Well, good as a place as any to start. Would you like to walk or would you like to ride up here on my shoulder?
I'd like to walk.
All right.
I'm gonna keep an eye on this kid.
Okay.
You got me. You got me thinking now too. So can I go?
I was gonna say I'm gonna insight check a 4-year-old.
Okay, I won't.
You aren't?
I'm not gonna insight.
You want to? You go ahead.
I'm not gonna insight check, but I am gonna divine sense.
Okay.
So yeah, divine sense.
Good or evil, right?
As an action, you can detect good and evil to the end of your next turn. You can sense anything affected by the hollow spell or know the location of any celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover.
No, you don't sense good or evil. It's kind of a neutral sensation. No celestial. Well, what's the range?
60 feet.
60 feet. You do get a sense of something fiendish, but it's further up on the dock.
But it's further up on the dock? Okay.
And looking up towards it, you can tell that the dock stairs are about 50 feet tall. So it's about 5 stories up from the subdock.
Okay. So I'm going to go and I'm going to stand up and reach my hand down to take the little girl's hand, or rather a finger, so she can grab onto it.
Yes, and she reaches up to it and holds on.
Let's go see if we can find your mother then. And I'm going to kind of... Who's standing next to me, or is everybody just kind of gathered around? You're standing behind me?
Everything we've gathered. But
Okay. I was asking just who's directly behind me. I'm gonna go and
According to our character figures, we're all just sort of on the far corners of the town.
Yeah, y'all are starting right here on the far dock.
because you're also very precise.
And the cleric's neck. Y'all would like to put your figures there.
I was
It is not the scale. The city is much larger than your figures.
I'm gonna look at you and just kind of whisper, and I'm gonna say, please, help me keep an eye out. I feel there's something fiendish up ahead.
I'll just like give us a small tilt.
Okay. It's like, well, anybody else joining me?
I mean, there's only kind of one way to go off the dice.
Fair enough. And I'm gonna start walking.
Okay. As y'all are walking, every once in a while, she just hops. Like, she'll hold onto your finger a little harder. She just kind of hops to the next stair and slowly walks up. Your speed is reduced to about 10 feet right now, just to try to, unless you're trying to drag the child.
No.
Okay.
and I'm dragging the child.
So yeah, you're about 10 foot movement speed right now while you're walking with her, keeping pace.
Okay. So once we get to the top of the stairs, we can see all the tents and everything you said?
Yes. So, as you reach the top of the stairs onto the main dock, you see what looks to be a long row of different merchant tents, different stalls between food, goods, just about anything you would kind of expect from a merchant town. It's a mix of sweet smells, savory smells. For those of you who prefer a bit more spice in your food, you can even smell the drying and smoking of exotic peppers.
Dang. Do you remember which tent you ate at?
And she's going to point further in.
Okay. So I guess as we're walking along, I'm going to look down and says, what is your name, by the way?
Mary Bell,
Mary Bell. My name is Rort. It is very nice to meet you.
it's nice to meet you.
So as we continue on,
She skips every once in a while, walking along you, and
that's going to be a heck of a sight walking into this town with a little girl hanging on a minotaur. But well, you said it's pretty mixed species, though.
oh yeah, this is, if I had to place it, it'd be like early 1900s New York. So you would have a mix of races.
Hopefully less race war, though.
Oh yeah, a lot less historically like New York, and ethically.
You know what I'm talking about.
But no, you see a whole bunch of different races and everything. And as you're kind of walking past the, essentially the top of the staircase going in, you're getting to about the area where you just barely felt the fiendish sensation. And go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay. Hey, where's that dice at?
Roll.
Do it next to you or in your box.
It's gonna be a great night.
Alright, where were we? Die or roll. Die or roll. Die. 16.
So, you having a hard time looking around, but it doesn't take long for many people to notice a minotaur trying to heavily focus around to look for something. So you're gonna have one of the random merchants walk up to you. So, you looking for a good deal? I got one right over here for you. And he's gonna put his hand on you to try and lead you this way.
Good luck to him trying to move the minotaur. I'm like, not this time. I have other matters to attend to. But thank you.
Oh, all right. Well, what you looking for, friend?
Have you seen a woman in distress looking for her child today?
Is this a threat?
No. And I'm gonna look down at the little girl and kind of go and just like let her like hold on to my finger and kind of raise her up just a little bit.
Oh no.
Oh no! Natural 20. That's a natural 20 on his athletics check to hold on. So yeah, she's a good foot or two off the ground. Just hi. No.
Spider monkey.
Well, there's a lot of ladies who come through this area. It's not exactly like we don't. He's just kind of gonna gesture around. You can see a lot of different women walking around.
Yeah. But I'm noticing that are going around going, have you seen my baby? Have you seen my baby?
one with the hair.
It's
He
like,
hasn't mentioned the hair.
yeah, I haven't mentioned hair yet. It's just like, well, I don't suppose any that you have seen any that looks like this color.
Quite a few. And he's gonna take a look around, and he's gonna kind of point out like one that looks kind of like a slightly redder shade of brown, and then one that looks a bit more auburn. I mean, there's a lot of redheaded ladies.
As he points them out, do any of them look distressed or anything? Okay, so
They look like they're just going along with their shopping.
fair enough. Well, I best be on my way and keep looking then.
All right. Well, if you're ever looking for some, we'll just say, well-fitted wares, we here for you.
What exactly is he selling if I actually can actually look where he's pointing at?
It's a bit of a closed tent.
Oh,
Not all of these are open. You can tell that the fancier ones tend to have more of a door system so that customers can come in and they don't have to worry about wind sweeping in.
oh, okay.
Can I make an insight check on this guy to see what he means by well-fitted wares?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a 14.
14 total?
Yeah.
You can tell there's nothing malicious behind what he's saying. It's not dirty or anything like that.
Okay.
You can get the sense that he's trying not to say certain words around the child.
Okay, we're gonna keep moving.
Again, you can tell it's not dirty.
Okay. I don't even know. Cameron doesn't even know.
You can ask him.
I was like,
Later.
I'll come back and you can elaborate on this, but I have more pressing matters. Thank you.
All right.
Y'all feel free to go check out the well-fitted wares if you wish, though.
Yeah, maybe later.
And
Later.
are you wanting to go in?
No,
You can if you want to.
I'll wait.
There's quite a few different shops that you want to pass in. Some of them with closed tent doors, others that are kind of more of an open stall with just a
We'll go
ceiling.
shopping once we get the main quest.
Yeah. Once we figure out what the fuck we're doing.
Yeah. So, as y'all keep moving further in, it seems to get more and more busy as you get closer and closer towards the end of the port and into the city. There's quite a few more stalls here. They tend to get a little bit smaller and more compacted together. You can tell that the ones who could kind of afford more space were towards the end of the dock where the goods first arrived. And the ones who were kind of making a little less profit or just didn't want to spend as much were compacted next to other competing businesses and smaller venue spots. And the crowd is kind of thicker this way too. It gets to a point where your larger party members, i.e. Rope, is having a bit of a harder time walking around without accidentally bumping into somebody. But it doesn't seem like they care too much if they get a light bump or something as they pass by somebody.
Again, keeping an eye on things and keeping my coin purse and everything like close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like just hold on to the other shit.
One hand on the child, the other pressing against that coin purse.
You're gonna feel the child's hand let go of your finger as you hear her exclaim, "Mommy!"
Oh,
And then she's gonna run into the crowd.
you guys
You
want
gonna run to the crowd?
Everyone's
And you said you're holding a hand on what?
I've got one hand that was holding her, and the other hand pressed like, here's my money bag. I got it pressed up against me.
Okay.
Yep.
Are you actively checking for anything, or?
Yeah, as she runs off, I'm going, wait.
Okay.
So
Roll me a perception check.
Can we roll as well, or are we close enough to?
15.
15 total?
Yeah.
So with that, you can feel that your coin bag is smaller than normal.
Fuck. I'm just gonna go. Damn face. And I'm guessing I can look around and I don't see anybody, walking off with a purse in their hand, with my purse in their hand.
If you want to holler, or if you want to say something, your party can also help you look.
It's like, well, the girl's gone and stored some of my coins. Anybody see the pickpocket?
I'll go in.
I mean, I saw because you were holding her hand.
Do what?
I saw because you were holding her hand.
Yeah, she let go and went that way, and then apparently my coins went somewhere that way. Who wants to help me look for the girl? Who wants to go look for the pickpocket?
I'll look for the pickpocket.
I'll go for the girl.
Okay. So the whole party can roll me a perception check if they'd like.
Do I roll again or no?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
Oh!
Before I ask for results, who's looking for the pickpocket? Raise your hand. Before I ask for results. Who's looking for the pickpocket?
I guess I'll go.
You already said you were looking for the pickpocket, so I know you. So,
Oh, okay.
Strella and Evangeline were looking for it, and then the three of y'all are looking for the girl.
Yeah.
How did you do?
So who got higher out of the two of you with the pickpocket search? What'd you get?
36.
Natural
Yeah.
20.
You could have just said natural 20. 36?
Yes.
My first
What
season
did you
roll, I
get?
don't even get to use it.
Huh?
I
What did you
got a wrong cleric. Stop that. Not 3 clerics, okay?
We all know you're a cleric.
What'd you roll in dice?
I got a 15 on dice and a perception of 20, so dirty 20.
Dirty 20? Okay.
Nice.
As you're looking around, you're both kind of getting a good glance.
Okay. So you?
Well, y'all are all
Me
looking at
and
the
you.
exact same time.
No. Okay. What I'm gonna do is once we decide, I'll just do it after we split up. Right?
Okay. And what was the highest roll for the ones who were looking for the girl?
I got a 13.
I got an 18.
I got you.
So 18. Got it.
Got it.
So, with that, you are just barely able to spot what looks at one bit to look like the edge of the ragged dress that she was wearing as it disappears into the crowd.
Oh shit.
The two of you aren't able to see some pickpocket. Like, there's no one that you saw that was trying to hide themselves. No one that was trying to run away or hide somewhere. And with how you're looking around, you're thinking there's no way that they could have gotten away from me unless they literally vanished. But you did barely catch the girl going north.
She went north. I did see that.
All right, here we go. Excuse me, pardon me.
I'll take lead and just
Okay.
move through the crowd.
Oh yeah, halfling you can move. Yeah.
So, as you're easily moving through the crowd, and you have Rolt and Victorin, which I'm assuming you're staying behind Rolt,
Yeah, I'm sitting behind her.
who's trying to part the crowd, moving at a much slower pace. Y'all are about 10 to 15 feet at best, trying to move through this. You're slightly hindered just because of how dense the crowd is, so you're about 20 feet. Okay. But you're still able to kind of weave through there pretty easily. The two of you would see at least the Minotaur starting to move. Are y'all going to try and follow?
Well, I didn't see anything. Did I?
Correct.
Yeah. So
Damn.
So there's no way that
I was
it
gonna-
was back. It had to have been forward.
Yeah, I couldn't see anything because I was right behind him. So I couldn't see anything. So I'm just gonna follow him.
Let's
Okay.
go.
So you do eventually run to where there's a bit of a gap in the people, and there's going to be a city guard who he's roughly your height, maybe about an inch or two. Looks like a halfling. What's your hurry?
Somebody listed some of our coins, so just trying to find them. Little girl, reddish hair, it's about 4 years old.
I guess that might have been one of them. There's well, I don't want to bother a civilian with it. Just be careful. There's thieves that we're trying to worry about here.
Well, if it's any consolation, could we know a little bit more? Would the Adventures Guild will willing to help out?
And you can see he's looking a little skeptical as you're telling him you're part of the Adventurers Guild.
I mean, I just point up at roads. It's like we just got in.
You have any identification, and you would have your medallion essentially from the guild.
I'm pull my medallion out.
All right. Well, firstly, I guess welcome to Drake.
Yeah, it's
Ah.
a bit lively.
Welcome to the most happening city on the island, Rock. and he's gonna motion you to come over to what looks to be a large tent like what you saw in the back, or back towards the beginning of the pier. But this one has the insignia of Rock on it with what you can assume is like a security detail logo underneath it.
I follow him.
And he's gonna start walking and
I just
leading out that way.
motion for everybody to take it from me.
Okay.
So, as you enter into the tent, there's a few other guards that are kind of walking around, and some of them doing paperwork. You can see a small detention area in this tent. It's nothing massive. This is kind of like we caught somebody shoplifting, so they're going to be detained here until we can get the goods or get them transported. And he kind of motions you over to one of the small tables in the corner that's kind of set up as like a break room area for the guards. So he's gonna climb up onto one of the stools and ask, wave his hand, gesturing for y'all to have a seat if you'd like.
Do the stools look sturdy enough for me?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You would look around. Give me a perception check real quick. There's not a whole lot of guards in here, but there's at least 15. Yeah. You can see a orc kind of walking around, currently leading what you can assume was someone who stole something. And he looks to be about your size.
Okay.
A pretty hefty man. You can even see a Leonin behind the desk. Just kind of taking paperwork in as it's given and sending them out to different areas. So it's not small people as guards all the time.
Okay.
Well, what got stolen from you?
Nice.
1, 2, 3, 4. How much gold am I missing?
How much gold did you have on you?
Oh, that's a terrifying.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, no, no,
Oh
I mean,
no.
What we could have done is I have manacles. We could have handcuffed the child too. Road.
Jesus Christ. No.
I have 400.
It's a
You
suggestion.
had 490.
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
dangerous
I rolled
information.
really
Thank you for allowing me to have that.
As you're kind of counting it through, you know that you're still like,
If my
Does she
manacles
have
go
kind of a bigger
missing,
coin purse
I want
being
them
on you? You can tell roughly about 200 is missing.
Yeah. Whole child's code. Slippery.
I'm serious. If you take my manacles, I want them sanitized before I get them back.
So yeah, it's like
And
almost
less.
half. You go and tell him 200.
You're going to see him kind of get taken aback by the fact that you're carrying that much money on you on a day-to-day basis.
Well, nobody would recognize the bank notes from where I'm from because I think a bunch of minotaurs are too stupid to handle money.
Well,
Uh,
well, I'm going to firstly ask you to find a better bank. That's just a friendly suggestion. He's kind of reeling from this because that much money is like a life savings for a lot of people. And that's if they're lucky.
Yep. I do technically come from like not royal lineage, but noble lineage, so
Well, more than likely your money's gone. We've been doing good to keep him out of Drake, but there's a sub branch of the Thieves Guild that is trying to make a name for itself. They have some pretty shady people under their roster.
do they use children?
None that are biologically children. It's not that we can tell.
I just kind of like reach over the road and like pat my chest, like I feel you later.
No, it's like I understand. It's just I feel so betrayed. I tried to help a little girl and yeah.
The betrayal.
Any word as to like the name of this organization, or do they not have one? Or do you not? know
Not
the
one
name?
that the members are willing to tell us.
Okay.
They tend to bite into an edible tooth and stop being awake anymore.
Probably.
Yeah, they're a bit hardcore. They still keep to the tenets of no unnecessary murder, but they're really secretive about what they do.
Yeah.
And it's not murder?
they don't murder. At least not from anything that we've seen. The murders we've gotten have normally been from someone cutting someone else out of a good deal, or just your usual. Someone didn't like the way someone looked at them, so they decided to take it out on them.
So what can we do? What can we do? What can we do now?
Well, and as you ask that, it starts with a slight vibration, but towards the desk you hear bum bum, bum bum. Don't mind that. That's the phone.
Sounds like your boss music.
And the Leonin picks it up. Well, no, what y'all what y'all probably looked or had a chance encounter with, is what we've colloquially called shifters. They're people who can take on a specific form, almost like you're putting on a mask. So more than likely, it was one of those who were walking around. They're tricky
I
too.
hate the city already.
We'll give it time. You just met one bad person. You'll hate it even more. Anyways,
Am I going to hate the banks here too then?
I mean, they're just like any other bank. They want your money.
Oh.
At least they're more upfront about it than the Thieves Guild.
Yeah.
No, one.
So,
But just be careful who you trust around here. If you don't know them, if there's anything that they seem to say that they're in trouble for or something like that, just find the city guard. If they see us coming, they'll run if they're bad. If it was actually something serious, they normally will come to us once they see us.
exactly. If we haven't taken come across any information, besides just giving it to the closest towns, police guy, who we taking?
I mean, the guard's gonna be the best. There's our mayoral building. And he's gonna kind of, while still in the tent, he's gonna kind of vaguely point northeast. You can always kind of report it to the cook there, and I'll tell you where to go from there.
Alright. Well, appreciate your time.
No worries. If you see any of the monks from the Temple of the Golden Dragon, you could report it to them. They have jurisdiction in just about any city here. All you have to look for is looks like a golden ring with a gold dragon spreading its wings. If you haven't ever seen a gold dragon before, it's like a tortilla chip with a face.
Oh, I just laughed at that.
Just don't tell the dragons I said that. Anyways,
Oh, look, a tortilla dragon.
be careful, you're a minotaur. They may not take extra care for you saying that. They're kind and gentle, but if you piss them off, you piss them off.
Bro. I appreciate it. I hop down.
No worries, just be careful out there. I'd recommend either extra securing your coin purses or finding some way to hide them on your person.
Before I
So it up here so people can't reach it.
so before I leave the tent, I'm going to take and before we leave the tent, Lance is gonna take his coin purse, he's gonna shove it down his pants. Just keep walking.
He waddles.
Yeah, you just hear this fight jingle.
Okay.
That's a new way to coin the term.
How are y'all hiding your coins?
I'm
Or just extra securing them? You can extra secure them, or you can
Yeah.
put them somewhere else.
I
Or,
mean, it's already
I'm
pretty
securing
secure.
them.
I got you, because you have it underneath your.
Like, I have several
wrap.
layers on me.
I'm securing them, and since I'm wearing a breastplate, I'm just like,
Okay, so behind the breastplate.
yes.
Okay. Victorian.
Just stuff it in his shirt.
Okay. So, as you'll leave the tent, this is more of a little bit more of an open area. The guard's tent was roughly here. You do get to see slightly off, about maybe 4 or 5 blocks down, a decent sized building. it's one of those where you're kind of looking at the sidewall. You see windows and everything on it, but it seems a lot bigger than some of the other semi-permanent or permanent structures that you can kind of see towards the square of the main area.
Alright, so
You're starting to see also a few houses and things like that when you get around this area.
alright, so well, I guess just like Billy said, and just keep our money close. Yeah. Let's just
Let's head to the adventure.
yeah, let's head over there. So
Do any of you know where the Adventure Guild in Rock is?
What I?
Do any of us have any history with her?
Well, first off, does every adventure guild have the same kind of like logo fair onto where the adventure guild
It
is?
does have the insignia over the
Yeah.
entrance. Each of you would know that.
Can we roll perception to see if we see anything, any buildings that have that on there?
Yeah, you can either roll perception to try and take a look for yourself. You can ask a local.
Let's go ask Cole. I feel like
There's
that's
plenty of people.
I don't feel like interacting with the locals anymore.
Wait, are we still in guard 10?
No.
not are we still
But I
inside
rolled
the
on her
No,
shoulder.
y'all are exiting.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, y'all are still near it. You can go in and ask a guard if you want.
Don't
You
look, don't
do?
look at me.
Yeah.
You're the talkative one.
No, and I point to Victoria. It's like, no, he's the talkative one.
I mean, yeah, it's funny.
Guess I'll go in.
At this point, just because it's been getting caught up on everything, kind of a quick debrief from the town guard. It has been about an hour as y'all kind of walked out, so the sun's a little bit lower, but still a good bit of evening sun left. Y'all will hear someone. It sounds like it's coming from y'all's general direction. Roll me perception checks. Woo!
Can you confirm that?
Yes.
Cool.
That's fine.
That's the point. Yeah, for a total of
30.
30. All right.
You said perception, right?
Yes.
Yeah, 30.
Awesome. All right.
You're doing so good.
26.
And it was perception?
Yes.
I have a 21.
Did you get
Damn!
Nice.
Did you get a nat 20 as well?
I got a
Got
19.
an amazing roll of an 11.
Oh.
Hey, double digits. And
25.
25. All right. So everyone 20 or above except the cleric.
This is my +5. Oh.
You can at least hear the voice. You just can't see where it's coming from.
Oh,
Wow. If it isn't my friend, how's it going?
Oh,
As you can kind of, you can tell where the voice is coming from a bit southwest through the crowd. As you then see the same man who kind of stopped you earlier.
Wow.
Did you run into some troubles? Why are you talking to the guards?
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it.
Well,
What is your well-fitting wares? Just tell me already.
And you can see he's kind of looking just. Roll me an insight check.
Okay.
As he's kind of like looking around one in the party.
I'm keenly listening just because I want to see.
Same.
I mean, he's not whispering.
Yeah.
He's not.
Is this gonna-
Come on.
And you are not allowed
What'd
to
you get
use
on dice?
mental.
18.
18. Okay, yeah, you're good.
Nat 20 or dirty 20.
There's one. No, you're good.
Can't speak.
You can get the sense that he's trying to look to see if the child's still alive.
No,
No.
no.
No, you don't have to worry about the little ones. They made off with some coin.
Ow!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, friend. Wow.
So what do you have for sale?
Oh, well, we mainly sell weaponry and things to kill your foes with. My normal sales pitch is, would you like to hit that guy way over there, but you're standing 100 feet away? I just didn't want to say it in front of a child. My mama raised me never to say bad things around kids. And that includes murder.
Feel free to speak with it, whatever ill will you wish about that demon.
Oh, damn.
That was a demon?
Might as well have been.
Sorry, my friend is just.
Just a little.
Fair enough.
He is salty. He is saltier than the sea right now.
He's
But-
upset because he lost about 200 coin.
Ow!
Yeah.
Why do you carry that much money around with you today?
Because most of the local banks don't trust Minotaur hard cash. They don't appreciate the banknotes. Thus, I had to walk around with what money I had until I could find a reputable bank that would trust Minotaur banks as well.
Ah, and he kind of looks you up and down. Ah, babe, but get up your way. I'm guessing you're either a really decked out cleric or a paladin.
Paladin.
Why didn't you just get banknotes from your church?
Same reason. They don't recognize it. They still see us as monsters.
Well,
Enough
anyways,
about my soft story. What do you have for sale?
would you like to come back to my tent?
Yes.
As we're walking, if we're all gonna walk, I'm gonna ask him once we start walking, can you point us to the Adventurers Guild after we're done looking at this shop?
Oh, most certainly. That was actually where I was going in the first place.
Today's episode of Road's Bad Day.
And he's gonna, as you kind of get more of a better look at him, he's wearing what seems to be might kind of be like an oversized top hat, very slender frame with a tailcoat suit that kind of goes along it, a nice mix of gray, black, and then a hint of red with the tie and the cuffs.
Well, if you're going to the Adventurers Guild, why don't we go there first and then we stop by each
Well, that'll work out for me. And as he's going to introduce himself, he takes off his hat, which also has a mask connected to it. And as he does, you immediately notice two horns that slightly curl up and back, slightly pointed ears, and a nice, almost cool purple skin color.
So, tiefling?
Roll me a perception check.
Cool.
Or intelligence.
We'll go with perception. That comes up
Well, no,
with
it would be intelligence for this. I have
Intelligence?
both. Yes.
Just straight intelligence?
Yes.
15.
15? Yeah, you would get the essence of not only is this the more than likely a tiefling, but also this is what was probably pinging off your sense earlier. It's nice to meet you. The name's Barnaby. Barnaby Jenkins.
Okay.
I'm a member of the Adventure Guild myself. Signed up about a year ago.
Nice.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you. It makes for some pretty easy travel partners. So in case you ever have to get your goods across the country.
That's true.
By chance, are you interested in any of the city games coming up? I don't know if you've had a chance to talk to anyone about them.
We kind of had attendance.
Ah, well, it's a mix between the Adventuring Guild, the Marksman's Guild, and the Merchant's Guild. They kind of put on an event for everyone to come together and have a bit of fun. It's a mix of different strength-related sports, speed-related sports, or even those of a talented persuasion. It's all team sports, and you choose one, you get a team. You can have a team of anywhere from 3 to 6. And depending on what sport you want to try or what event you want to go for, it's a lot of fun. They put on, anywhere where you get these 3 guilds together, they tend to put on a bit of a, they call it something like the Olympiads or something like that.
So knowing the beat and seeing the fact that he's in the slump, I'm just gonna kind of like out of sight of my eye, I'm just gonna kind of look at Bro and be like, really, is there any glory to be had in these things?
I mean, there's prize money. You get accolades from it. You get a recognition trophy.
I suppose there's an entrance fee, though, yes?
Not if you're a member of the guilds. They usually take your tax at the end of the year anyway, so they can fund their goods. So if you're part of any of the guilds, you're already in. You just have to sign up.
So first off, Josh, thank you. You helped Cameron. Secondly, Rhodes does get that gleam in his eyes and goes, "My friends."
I just like nudge Victoria and I'm like, hey, got it.
I'm just
You're gonna have
gonna
Barnaby lean over. Is he always that easy to manipulate?
Yes.
Yes.
He's saying it kind of quietly. If you want to try and listen, you can roll a perception check.
Sure. With disadvantage, I'm distracted now. That'd be an 11.
Yeah,
You could hear him say something to Linus, but you couldn't really make out.
Yeah, I was just like, games, acolytes,
I
glory.
I respond back. It's like good to think that it's positively motivated.
Well,
I'm not in the correct direction.
all right. Well, I'm normally one of the ones they hire for the announcements. So if you'd like to come with me, I can at least get you to the guild.
Alright,
That would be
Let's
awesome.
do it.
All right. It is a bit confusing as the Venturer Guild also doubles as their mayoral building.
okay.
So
As a what building?
mayoral building.
Okay.
So where the mayor's office and stuff like that is.
Okay. So you said mail order business.
The mail order building. It's the post office.
We already had bad enough life with sending.
They stopped the whole bride service a
Mail.
long time ago. It's not that bad, Mel. It was back whenever, like, not necessarily colonial times, but whenever people were going out west, you put an ad in the mail for a bride. You told them what all you had, and then if a woman wanted to, they would mail order them to you. In other words, they would go on this huge trail trek on wagon and horseback to get them to you safely and soundly. It was how the West was built. That and war crimes.
The
So-
more you know.
Less mail order bride and more gold diggers are
The
us.
next time I boot up Oregon Trail, that's what I'm gonna be thinking about.
Next time you've been at Oregon Trail.
You died of dysentery. Well, damn, there goes the mail order, Brian.
Yep. But if you'd like, you can come with me, or I can at least point you in the direction, and you can find your way there.
Yeah, we'll take a walk with you. Keep going there.
Yep.
Alrighty. And with that, he puts the hat back on, and his face takes that of what looks to be a normal human.
And as we're walking, I am going to keep my eyes open specifically for Solo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Roll me just a general perception check.
Got it. Can I help him with that matter?
Sure. Yeah, you can assist him.
Woo! That's 25.
So roll with advantage, though.
Yeah, 'cause I'm helping you.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, 25.
25. Alright.
How I see it, Linus climbs up.
You can see quite a few, like, little girls walking around with parents, or playing some of the smaller games. But, not necessarily any of the girl that you can that you saw earlier. At this point, you are walking through the major square of essentially what they consider the high-end merchants. It's equally spaced out between what looks to be semi-permanent structures. So there might be some tent tarping, but it's more for like canopy. The buildings themselves are mostly made out of sturdy wood, stone, or even carved marble, like the large buildings.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, man. Getting the swanky out of town.
Well, I mean, we are between the guilds, and he's going to point to the east, the north, and the west. And respectively, to the east, we got the Merchants Guild. To the north is where we're going, the Adventurers Guild. And to the west, the Marksmen's Guild.
I'm assuming those would be these three big ones here.
Yes.
Okay.
Each of them holding a different significance and a friendly different level of power, depending on what you need.
Ah. Fancy architecture. It's cool.
Well, feel free to enjoy. And as you're looking around, each of the buildings themselves almost look like at one point there may have been a sturdy mountain or small ridge that was coming from the earth itself that almost looks like it was carved from the marble in the earth itself. You can't see a seam at the bottom of these buildings.
Wow.
Well, feel free to look around. I'm gonna go in. I have a meeting in about 10 minutes.
Alright.
And so he,
Here we go.
as he approaches these double doors that are at the front of the guild, they're roughly about 80 foot tall. These are some massive door gates.
Dang.
Wow.
As you're kind of looking up even further, and this is a multi-tiered building itself, but it looks like the entrance is just one large cathedral.
Dang.
Meanwhile, back where we're from.
Alright, so, what we gonna ask, okay, you know, because I don't want to be taking and asking anybody and everybody about our, task.
Well, of course not.
Should
Did
we
we,
just-
did we get any, did we get a message back? by any chance? It's been an hour or so, right?
No, no new message.
No new message.
Should we just ask if anybody knows Asier?
I mean, we might be able to take and ask, like, is there basically on the front desk?
Yes, as you've gotten through your main way, there's quite a few people walking through here. You can see in a small section off to the right is kind of where they have the mayoral building set up inside of the main building. But you do see a massive desk that sits at the front, where off to the side you can kind of see where tables are set up as gathering areas. All different types of smells of food and everything are kind of wafting through, as this seems to be the first floor for gatherings, meals, and what have you. But you do see a front desk. There's a half-orc, a high elf, and then a human. Male, female, and male, respectively, sitting at the front desk.
So what kind of questions am I asking?
I would just say if they know Asier and if there was a note or anything that was left for us because he apparently left the job. And they said if they say something like, no, I don't know Asier, I don't know what you're talking about, they just say, don't worry about it and walk away. That is the only thing I can think of.
Don't worry about
Don't
it.
worry about it.
So, are you all just kind of standing in the main area talking about this?
Don't worry about it.
I would say that, like, I would at least try to take, like, moves
Yeah.
off to the side.
Yeah, I'm not saying this loudly.
Okay. So y'all are kind of talking for a minute here, trying to figure out what you're gonna ask, who you're gonna talk to. How are y'all doing today?
Oh, quite well, thank you.
As you turn around, and the half-orc that was sitting at the counter has kind of made his way over to you. Is there anything that we can do to help you?
Yes, actually. We were actually, sent here by Asier. I don't know if you know him. Asier De Leon.
Yes, very flamboyant man. What about him?
We didn't get that part, did we?
Didn't know that part about him, but
It's gonna be kind of hard to ask anybody about him without them knowing. If you've seen that man on a battlefield, you'll understand.
look forward to that.
That'll be an interesting sight.
Yes. Did he leave a message here or?
Not that I've seen, no.
Lovely.
Do you happen to know his whereabouts? So I can try and get a hold of him.
You want me to have records of an admin's movements?
I mean, I figured if he was, that high up, he might at least know, like, what region or whatever he might be headed to.
He's on Sturt.
How helpful.
I'm a front desk clerk.
That's fair, man. I'm not trying to take in.
If you need higher up information, you can talk to the guild head for Rock.
Okay. Alright, sorry. Wasn't trying to take in what's people's.
I mean, it kind of offended me. You're acting like I have a higher station than I do.
Sorry, sir.
Sorry.
He's not as well worded as I am.
That's obvious. I could have made a short joke on you, but I didn't. But then you're getting upset with me because I'm telling you I don't know where this high-ranking official is.
I apologize.
You know, I might be a half-orc, but I have feelings.
I understand. Believe me, I get the whole short joke thing. It's a stigma. I'm sure you've heard jokes regarding your person as well. I'm sorry.
Why you gotta bring that up?
At this point, I'm just gonna go in. I'm just kind of like moving him with his shoulder and just like pushing you and Victoria away and just start walking.
At least it's not a dwarf this time.
I'm gonna go ahead.
Apologies, sir.
He
We
hasn't
didn't mean to.
They accepted, but if you want, I can try and get you a meeting with the
guild head.
head of the
That
guild
would be
here.
lovely.
I think me and you are just like standing off to the back, like,
Let
oh
me
no.
see if he's
Taking some drugs.
have a seat in our gathering area behind
We're
us.
talking.
Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome.
We're just watching it like we're popcorn.
I don't like this city.
So, as the half-orc goes back behind the counter, and y'all are walking past, give me perception checks, just as you're kind of entering the new area.
That'll work. 24.
24?
10.
Dirty
10.
20.
20?
15.
11.
11. So, Evangeline and Rolt, as y'all are walking past the counter going into the common area, firstly, everyone can see there's looks to be a plethora of different types of people here, different backgrounds, different skills. You can see some people who, like, they are obviously merchants that are just kind of getting a meal here or just chatting with adventurers. Those of you who got a 20 or above, in other words, Evangeline and Rolt, as you walk past the counter, in a hushed tone, you look over and you can see the half-orc talking with the high elf. He just acted like I was just some high-ranking official who got traps on everybody. No. Well, I'm sorry. It's okay, I'll let it go for now. At least he had nice friends. I know,
Campaigns. I'm making notes.
I figured you'd fix it by now then.
I feel there's a story behind that.
But
Anyways.
you make your way into the seating area, and as you do, a couple minutes pass by. The half-orc comes walking around to y'all's table. It'll take a couple minutes, but the head will be here in just a few minutes.
What is his name, by the way?
Kachua.
Good to know.
And with that, we're going to go ahead and head to our break. Stay tuned. And welcome back. So,
You couldn't say.
you good?
You okay?
It's all good.
Stay in the mood,
I
everyone.
hit the mood.
Happens to the best of us.
We love you, camera guy.
We love you, the mood.
Performance issues aren't
We
uncommon.
love to
Ironically enough, there's 5 men in this room. Anyways, so as we left off before the break, the party was in the Adventuring Guild, waiting to speak with the guild head for roll. After a very interesting talk with one of the half-orc clerks, we were able to get into the waiting room as y'all patiently waited for Kachua, as you heard his name was, to come down the stairs. So,
We're gonna be waiting here a minute.
in the meantime, what are y'all doing?
I'm gonna go check out like the job boards and see what other jobs and stuff have been put in this area.
Okay. You're not necessarily seeing one in this area. Are you gonna ask, or are you gonna just try and explore?
Just explore.
Okay. Give me an investigation check.
Okay.
Is anyone walking with them, or are y'all just kind of chilling at the table?
I'm just chilling at the table.
14.
14. All right. So this is a much larger building than you're kind of used to whenever it comes to adventuring guilds. You're used to kind of like the smaller town adventuring guilds. That tend to be like 1 to 2 stories maybe. So it's gonna take you some time searching around, but you come to the conclusion that it's not on the first floor, as you've kind of checked in the separate rooms, and you did find the bathroom at least. So there's that. As he's kind of searching around with everyone else.
I'm just like looking around to see like how many, or just like if there's a few golden dragon monks.
Yeah, give me just a general perception check. Oh, well, you did the boxing fitness.
Yeah. Not much better. 9. Math. 15.
15. Yeah, you can see a few that are just kind of sitting around, a couple that are enjoying a meal. One that seems to be talking to one of the more well-dressed people in the room. But there only seems to be about 3 of them in there.
What time is it roughly for the day?
About 6:30.
Okay. I'll hop down from a chair and just like not try to impose or like interrupt, but like just go over and just like wave and like kind of like show the symbol and everything.
Yours would be kind of sewn on the clothing as far as the golden tips. They don't like to do a whole lot of bling jewelry or anything like that. Which you always kind of wear your pseudo gi anyways. Are you going to the one sitting down or the one that's talking to the more well-dressed gentleman?
I don't want to interrupt anything with like fancy guys, so I'll take it on to go by the ones that are like chilling on the table.
Okay. Yeah, as you approach, you can kind of see that they're just sitting down to enjoy an evening meal. It's a female human and then a male dwarf.
It's kind of like
Give the general greeting,
the general greeting. Yeah.
and they reciprocate and welcome you to sit down at the table with a gesture.
How things have been going?
The female human pipes up first. Not too bad. This town is interesting to say the least, but it's at least livable.
Yeah.
You say livable, as you hear a voice kind of from the distance, and even the dwarf is kind of taken aback.
Okay, we'll take one. Just look in that general direction.
Give me a perception check, just as you're trying to find an unexpected voice.
And being a halfling, I'm going to start at ground level and work up. Woo! That's a 22.
Yeah. So you kind of quickly catch on to the loud voice, and you start from the ground, you say, which immediately meets a almost canine-like foot that has a bit of a rustic red and brown fur coloring that's fairly thick as it reaches up to what looks to be leg wraps leading up to pants, to the point that you are meeting the gaze of a knoll.
Hey. Hello.
He's just gonna walk up. Oh, they got chicken today. All right, and he's just gonna sit down. May I? As he points to the girl eating. Thank you. And she just. I guess I was done.
Can we all see this? Like,
Yeah.
do we just
Yeah.
It's pretty loud. Just give me a perception check to see like where it's coming from. You're looking around somewhere else.
I don't see it. Wait,
I have a 17.
wait, hold on. 8, 9, 10, 11.
Would I get an
17.
advantage on this?
No, you wouldn't know necessarily. It's a loud voice.
No,
Okay.
That's 11.
11? I mean, it's a pretty loud voice in a contained room. It's a DC 10.
Wow!
Feeling oblivious is
Did you get a 5? Yeah, you just kind of take it as like, you've been to a few rowdy places. You know that sometimes guild members can be loud. Because there's anywhere from mercenaries to merchants that sign up with the Adventuring Guild, so you're bound to just have loud voiced people anyways. So you're just kind of still sitting down, checking your stuff, just kind of relaxing after a pretty lengthy boat ride and a walk to get here. Evangeline and Strella. Evangeline first, more so than Strella, but you do both eventually look back to see where Linus is sitting, and then a knoll just kind of sitting there. Even though he's kind of sitting, you can tell he's roughly about 7'8". Just kind of gnawing on what was a turkey leg.
Sag.
You would have
turkey
heard
and
him.
chicken are two very different things.
They are. You would have heard him say they're serving chicken today while chewing on a turkey leg.
I'm just watching.
Where's the popcorn?
We're just going to this.
If you should have any questions, we do have a nice little camp to the north here.
Ignoring the repress.
I'm just going to leave right now.
Okay.
Oh, I guess I'm leaving with her. As the dwarf is kind of not wanting to, you can tell she's kind of upset, but she's trying to follow the Golden Dragon's teachings to not get angry with someone.
Twitch.
Yeah. If she was less controlled, there'd be an eye twitch. But as she gets up, you can see her waist, and the sash that she has on is a golden sash, which normally means, which would kind of translate to about a master's level. And when the dwarf stands up, you seeing his sash is a copper color, meaning that he's about intermediate, just kind of a learning student following her.
Okay. Would I have seen this color of the sash, the knoll in the sash?
There was no sash. He's just wearing normal clothing and armor. He's not a
Okay.
member of the.
Oh, he's not. Okay.
No,
Okay.
no. If like taking more of a look at him now, as y'all are the only two sitting there, he's gonna go. All right. Well, I guess they didn't want to stay. Are you hungry?
Yeah, I could eat. I haven't eaten.
He's gonna move the plate that was in front of the dwarf in front of you. It's like pot roast with some potatoes and some carrots and green beans.
Oh shit. Yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, I'm
And
sorry.
then he like goes, "Oh, you gonna eat with your hands?"
Do we have silverware?
And you can see it across the table.
Oh.
Was set next to the plate,
Okay, yeah.
and he's gonna reach across and kind of scoot it over to you.
Appreciate it.
No problem. As he bites into the bone, like in half, and then pulls out the other chunk and just starts sucking the marrow out of it. So what's your name?
Linus.
Nice to meet you. Name's Brutus. Brutus Strong.
Brutus. Nice to meet you. So, you're originally from Drake?
Oh no, I'm originally from Crete.
Oh, okay.
What about you? You from here?
Nah, I'm from Mechanics.
Ah, city boy.
And yeah, it's not, but don't let, city, make you think that, it come from some highfalutin shit.
It's alright.
Did I overhear the creak thing?
This time he's not being like hyper loud.
Okay.
He's like conversational level. Give me a perception check because y'all two have just been gawking at this. I'll let you use insight if you prefer.
I don't think that's much better.
That's not gonna help.
What are you at?
9 with perception, 7
Yeah,
with
you're still just kind of.
insight.
You're looking at the other people as they come across. Like you're
Which
kind
one's
of
hotter?
keeping more. Well, you're kind of keeping more of an eye on the stairs because you're expecting
Mhm,
some person named Kuchua to come down.
mhm.
Hey.
What are y'all doing?
Interesting.
Are y'all mentally
I
talking?
am. I'm just kind of buffing Delilah at this point.
As the two of you are kind of gawking, you hear your second spirit. It's a bit kind of brutish, don't you think?
Perfect.
At least there wasn't a fight from this. That's all that matters.
I was expecting one.
Same,
I'm still expecting one.
especially someone of its kind.
Uh, fair.
Meanwhile,
Never mind, Link.
Not too many of y'all would have too much experience with gnolls from where you're from.
yeah.
You would have heard kind of like the big bad wolf stories about gnolls and stuff like that. But with most civilization getting more and more modernized, it's harder for gnolls to find footholds in areas. So to y'all, like the most extent to your knowledge would be gnolls historically were bad people.
Yeah, that feels.
Mind link still just.
My Link.
Yeah.
Would you like to continue your search on the first floor, return to the table, or go up to the second floor?
I don't want to be rude and come in at the end whenever, it's like the head is there. So I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna wait around. Go back to the table.
You actually talk to
Okay.
me in your mind.
Go
Yeah,
ahead and roll me
we're
another
talking.
perception check.
We should just do this whenever we're Link.
That is gonna be a 19.
19? Yeah. You can, again, you see most of the same people in the room. The woman and the dwarf that were sitting at the table are gone now. Replaced by Lioness and a gnoll. So, what brings you here? She just kind of sets the bones to the side as they've kind of been emptied out at this point.
Just looking for strange stuff. Got sent here over from McCannis. Seeing if there's any sort of like general weird shit going on.
Well, there's gonna be a lot of weird shit. I mean, what you looking for?
Just
Did they specify?
just overall like weird stuff, like things, and I can't get really specific because the person who gave us like the mission. wasn't that specific.
you're all right. I do mercenary work, so if you can't tell me because of someone who hired, then it's fine. Us guild members gotta understand each other once in a while.
Yeah, it's true.
But it's just me. I don't think I'd be anywhere near people if they didn't, respect the guild bench. It's at least a nice change.
Yeah, people could be jerks.
They can. Well, we shouldn't say people, because people normally means humans, and that's a bit racist, so
Well, I just in my part of the neighborhood where I grew up, people just meant like everybody.
I got you. Colloquial term.
Yeah.
A term said around your people.
Right.
Gotcha. Do what?
General.
Who said that? Well, speak up.
It's your
I
conscience.
Mine. It's your conscience.
Well, no, I'm not going to stand for this. If anyone's got something to say, say it here. And at this point, you would hear the voice.
Can I hear her voice since we're both mind blinked right now?
If he chooses to.
Yeah. Okay.
So you wouldn't hear the voice right now.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine.
Well, you can quiet it down a bit.
Yeah, he's gonna look. Are you looking at him,
Yeah.
or are you just saying it like still looking at your table?
I look over in that general direction.
Okay.
Evangel-
So that's a total of
Wait.
23 on his perception check. So he's able to tell immediately it was coming from you. What do you have to say? What's wrong? Are you gonna judge me and my short friend here?
Actually, Brutus, that was me.
What was it?
That part of the mercenary group, that adventurous group.
Oh, they're with you.
Yeah,
Oh, so I couldn't understand your accent.
no, it's alright.
Sorry. It's like
Just
what's going in
slow
New
it
York.
down. Some people are trying to enjoy their time here.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, Mr. Posh. You know you're not the only adventurer here.
And
We all have a different way of enjoying ourselves.
well, you could do it quieter.
Since, and he's looking at you, the musician. I figured you'd be more of a rowdy kind.
Not all of us are the same.
Apparently, we like to have more fun. As he's like pointing towards Linus.
I'm just like, can we both just respect the fact that we like our own bit?
Well, I'm getting the feeling your friend here doesn't quite like me.
No, not really.
Wrong.
Oh, well, thanks for admitting it.
I'm just
You're welcome.
You big fella. And you can tell he's pointing straight at you. Is this your friend? And he's going to point right over to Victoria.
Yes.
Listen, mate. I know you and I both come from races that don't exactly have the best rep. But are you really going to let your friend sit here and then belittle another race that has gone through the same struggle as your people?
My friend is their own. They can make their own decisions.
Well, I guess it just shows the type of adventurers if you walk around with people like that.
Fuck you.
Oh shit.
Well, I'm going to be the bigger person here. And I'll leave you to your own. As he puts his chair back underneath the table and starts to walk off. He's going to stop and look back towards Linus. I hope you enjoy your meal.
appreciate it.
He's going to walk by and just kind of scuff dirt towards Victorin and just keep walking.
Goodbye.
I'm gonna walk over to Victoria and I'm gonna say, what the hell is your problem?
Nothing now.
Can I get some psychic damage for me roll real quick?
Alright,
I'm gonna take that attack from just one damage.
alright, and do something. Unarmed strike to Victorin, right on his neds.
Well, here's how I'm gonna handle
That's 20.
PvP.
For the nads.
You can either as players choose for it to land and do actual damage, or it'll just be a superficial act.
Oh.
So if it's something that y'all want to literally take into PvP territory with damage, I will leave it up between the two players. Past that, it'll just go to superficial damage.
I don't care either way, honestly.
It's up to you two.
If you're bold, so you need to
Superficial
care.
or damage?
Right there you go, Nat.
Evens or odds?
Even.
Even for damage? Odds, so superficial.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, you'll hit him and you'll feel it, like you'll be like. For instance, the sensation is like you immediately got a tensing on the bottom, and you immediately feel like you have to throw up. And the nausea kind of sticks with you. With a 22, kind of sticks. Go ahead and roll damage. It's superficial, but let's see
Yeah.
how bad it is.
Explain to the ladies in the chat what a shot feels like.
Yeah.
It does not feel great.
That's a 9.
9.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. You're feeling kind of nauseous over the next like 10 minutes, and you can't necessarily stand up. The nausea will fade before the being able to stand fades.
There was no glory in any of this exchange.
I'm just gonna mind play.
Kind of thing has to be glory.
All you hear is like Strella's quiet damn.
Was there an issue down here?
Not anymore, sir.
As you look around, and standing at the base of the staircase is what looks to be a giant humanoid version of a sea turtle, with a semi-opposable thumb off the flipper, kind of allowing for more hand movement like a normal humanoid. Past that, there's just kind of basic, kind of official robes for the guild, covering what looks to be mostly a shelled frame, with kind of a black undertone skin with yellows and reds kind of floating throughout the skin. I was told you needed to talk with me.
Yes.
Is he okay?
Oh, fine.
I'm just sitting over by the table.
All of us. Evangelina is gonna be looking away. Just,
Well, I have 30 minutes free if you'd like to come up to my office.
I'm just gonna.
Can you make it?
I'm just gonna nudge Rob. I'm just gonna nudge.
Sure. And I don't even look at Victorian.
I'm gonna go. Me and Evangelina are gonna go then, right? And
Yeah,
I'm just gonna nudge Rob and go.
Yeah.
You might need help. You might need
Yeah,
help.
I'm gonna help Victoria as much as I can.
It's tender.
All right. You said he's fine. He said he was fine. We'll just
Go with
go
it.
up to my office. It is 8 flights.
Just so you know, Victoria. Just so you know, Victoria, lay on hands does not work for that.
I mean, unless you can die from a nutshot, I can't really help you.
It's fine.
Oh, he got punched in the net. That's not a fun sensation.
That was really isn't.
I can give you psychic damage to forget about the nads.
What caused this?
An
Yeah,
altercation.
it's a small little disagreement between friends.
I'm just gonna let that
Very
go.
small disagreement.
Each party says it's fine, so I'm just gonna take y'all out your word. Anyways.
Go.
Alright, well, if you would like to start making your whip, it'll be the very top floor, so the 8th floor. I'm really the only office there. My secretary will walk you in. I'll see each of you in a moment. And he almost moves twice as fast as each of you are at walking speed.
Monks, man.
Not a monk.
Speedy boy.
Speak like
I take it I use my I just use my movement to do the double.
Okay.
Just all that.
He's still
No, yeah.
getting away from you.
No,
but
no, yeah.
How fast can I go?
Not intentionally, he's just going his pace.
Right.
I can move 90. Yeah, I can only move 90 per hour. Sad.
So are y'all running to try and keep up? You will technically have rough terrain as you're carrying someone.
No,
I'm just making my own way up there. I'm not gonna try and rush it.
I'll just walk. I don't care. We'll walk
No.
over.
As you do make it to the second floor, you do notice that there's quite a few boards, and it's kind of an open room with differing boards marked with different location names that look to have either paper formats of handwritten letters or typed out forms. Which, and looking around as you're kind of making your way, you do see a decently large sign that says job postings or quest postings.
Figured as much.
So had you gone up to the second flight of stairs?
Oh yeah, I figured.
Onwards
But
and
then I would have
upwards.
missed that beautiful exchange.
You would have, yeah. So,
Nice.
it takes a few minutes, but you do make it up to Kachua's office. Pretty simple, hardy oak door with a what looks to be Haragon receptionist. Receptioner. It's a male Haragon. If there was somebody receptionist, I don't think that's gendered. Yeah.
Okay, I guess in you go.
What you doing?
We
Well,
were
yeah.
invited. Yeah, we were invited by Kachuma to come on in.
You just gonna walk into his office? That ain't a very smart move, Doc.
He did say the receptionist would let us out.
Was
I
that-
need to list names.
oh,
Name,
Rote,
profession,
adventurer.
right?
Sure. Adventure.
Evangeline, adventurer.
Victorian
As he's kind of looking into the arms of Rogue.
did not hear me. But
Adventure.
Just
Victorian adventure.
Minus adventure.
The tongue-tied bard.
I'm in a lot of pain right now.
Wait, character is a person.
No, in character.
Yes.
The answer is always yes.
And he hits a button on the desk, and you hear a as the door. You hear a click as it swings open for you.
This feels like a prison.
Fancy.
Fascinating.
That's why I said talk to me before you walk in. The door won't open otherwise. But welcome.
Are you holding Victor like a potato sack?
I was just kind of just like helping him along. I wasn't like carrying. You
Oh,
know?
I thought you were carrying him.
I thought you were carrying him like this.
No, no, I was.
Oh, okay.
I was like, just helping walk in.
I'm assuming you just kind of, as you were stating, just kind of helping him hobble in.
Yes.
Okay. So as you enter into the office, the main first thing that you see is it's kind of dimmer lighting in here. It does have electrical lighting in here. But you also see what looks to be a expansive, almost like an aquarium system going along inside the walls, where you can see any manner of sea life between fish, crabs, eels, and it goes pretty far in there, but you think you can kind of make out a shark in the distance. And then sitting at the far end of about this 100-foot long room is Kachua sitting at his desk writing on paperwork. Oh, feel free to come in and have a seat. And as you come closer, you do see that there's a couple two-seater couches that are kind of set up in front of his desk. It looks like he could hold maybe about 10 guests between the furniture. So, I do hope you don't mind me continuing to do some paperwork, but
Completely fine.
I was told by Thomas you had something to discuss.
Yes, we were sent here by Alfier and was wondering if you had any information of him or why he sent us here.
The only thing that I've sent word for is just essentially the Thieves Guild, or at least a sub-branch of it, branching out here and trying to get a foothold. Past that, I'm not aware of many other guild movements past the usual secure supply lines and take care of others. You said Ossier sent you?
Yes.
Well, I hope he's doing well. Last I heard, and this was roughly, I would say almost a week ago, he was making his way from Sledfest to the capital of Mechanus.
That is where we encountered him, was in Slaphouse, so.
Well, many things can happen on travel. He could have had to stop and speak with a town, or any little things. You know, one of our major rules is if there's trouble in a city, we help.
Well, speaking of trouble, has there been, obviously you mentioned the Thieves Guild, has there been anything particularly weird or dangerous going on in this town?
Well, past the Thieves Guild issue, not really, besides the occasional just angry patron. If you're worried about anything happening with the mainland here, we haven't had too many troubles past that. But you may want to travel north to Drake, the capital, or not Drake, Dragul, the capital of Drake. They may have more for you there, but as far as here, we haven't had much to report.
Alright, is there any way that we can get word out to them that we're coming, or?
Yes, as he points over to his phone. You can call them if you'd like.
That would be lovely.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Kachua lifts up the phone and dials. Do y'all have a group name, or
Not really.
should I just tell them that a group of adventurers is coming by your names?
I would just say group of adventurers. We haven't really discussed it far in advance.
Alright. Kachua? Mm-hmm. Oh. So, how's y'all's day been?
We just stare at
Look at Victorian.
It's been an interesting day.
Ro just looks down.
Wonderful.
Everybody's just pissed off.
Party men are all pissed at each other or pissed off in general, and the ladies are like,
We can gossip without you guys hearing our
Yeah.
gossip.
Sure. Oh, yeah, it's been fine. Yeah, the kids are doing good. Hey, there's a group, here. No, they didn't say they had a name. Yeah. And Pichu's gonna push a button. Could you, send me a list of the written names? Thank you. And then you're gonna hear ding, 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 as out of a small machine on the top of his desk is like a small strip of paper that has wording written on it. And if you kind of look over, he's not like trying to hide it from you. It has each of your names. Roll. Strella, Evangeline, Victorian, and Linus.
Fascinating machine.
What's your last name? You're Linus, right?
Yes,
What's your last name?
that's foot.
Fastfoot. Yeah, I can tell him. We still on for golf?
That?
Yeah.
Right? See you this weekend. And with that, he hangs up the phone. Kyle says hi, whoever that is.
Master Kyle. Alright.
Master Kyle.
Yeah.
Oh, the monastery head.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he's my sensei. So.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting fellow to talk to.
Yeah, it can be a trip.
Mm-hmm. But, well, they'll be expecting you.
Is there any particular person we should ask for when we get there?
Just let them know that Kachua was sending you their way, and they should get you to the right spot.
Thank you, sir.
No worries. If you want, I can go ahead and send a messenger out that way.
Yeah,
Just kind of to meet y'all between cities.
yeah, that might be helpful.
Alright. Could you send up the messenger, please? Thank you. It's while we still have technology and everything, the Adventurers Guild is one of the oldest ones. We still trust to at least have people meet halfway, so that way, if there's anything that happens, They can at least report back as quickly as possible.
Oh.
Fair enough.
Mr. Kachua? Yes? He's here. Thank you, Cinnamon. You wanted to see me, boss? Yes, I'd like for you to meet halfway between here and Dragul to just relay any messages that we may need to them without being able to be tracked. You go, boss. And whom? And he starts walking into the room. As y'all's backs are kind of turned to him. It's a little, like I said, dimly lit. Whom will I have the pleasure of working with this great time?
Neighbor is.
As I was about to say, as he comes closer, he stops and can notice the Minotaur horns. Because these are kind of deep couches, they're really comfortable. But he can still see Rolt's head above the back of the couch. Well, everyone except for one of yous.
Neighbor is.
Hello.
All right, Linus, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
That's good.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Evangeline.
Nice to meet you. I'm Bruce. We're strong.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Strela.
And we did not get properly properly introduced earlier. I am Rot.
Oh, hello, Rolt. Nice, strong name. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel like all the important introductions have gone now. So,
No lie detected.
Yeah, I don't think you need a ton of truth for that one.
I'll meet you in the small town of Lake.
Of which town?
Lake.
Okay.
L-A-N-G. Is there anything else you need from me, boss? No, that'll do it. What's with the hostility? Oh, you know how it can be, boss. Some people just can't handle others. Okay. I'm gonna need an explanation.
Would creative differences be enough of a description?
As your superior, I'm going to need more description.
We're not involved
I
in
am
this.
sorry.
The three of us are not involved.
Since,
I got dragged into it. I ain't getting dragged further.
Kicho just kind of leans onto the desk. What happened? I have to know in case there's an incident report. Rather get the paperwork done now than later.
it's a disagreement. Avad here took and said that Mr. Brutus here was being too loud. They got into a verbal altercation.
He didn't say that I was just being loud, but that people were trying to enjoy themselves.
I was being completely honest.
Well,
And if it's any consolation,
know.
because I was trying to make friends here, and I point was, that's why the subsequent not that.
oh, that's why he was in pain.
Yeah.
Okay.
And is still in pain.
Understandable. So, you look very, very skilled with your hands. I mean, have you met other? Is Trello laughing, or is that just you?
But anyway, Stroll doesn't have the man any monks either. Just so you know.
I got you. But well, will there be any issues with this messenger?
I'll look at Victor.
I think we all look at
Yeah,
Victoria.
right.
Because if not, I can't guarantee another one anytime soon. We have a lot
No,
that have
it's
to go
fine.
out.
I'm in a hurry.
It's understandable. Thank you, sir.
Just keep an eye out for each other. Remember, we're part of the same guild.
Yes, sir. So, like, do I get the feeling like the meeting's done?
A bit.
Yeah.
Kachua's just kind of like,
didn't want to take a
roll me an insight. Just roll me a straight
I
insight.
just didn't want to like get up and walk out if he was done talking to us. Okay. Sorry. I think. Yes. So that's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Yeah, you get the feeling that, like, Kachua is trying to, like, this was going to be the end of the meeting, introducing you to the messenger and letting you all go. But he doesn't exactly know how to end it here with the tension. Well, it was nice getting to meet each of you. Brutus, you're good to go. Thanks, boss. Linus, Strella, Evangeline, pointing ears. I'll meet you in London.
Sounds good. Safe travels.
Thank you.
Be careful.
I'll try. And with that, he heads out, shutting the door behind him. The rest of you are good to go too.
Just stand up.
It's any places that the guild recommends for lodging, like on the way out of town.
Oh, well, if you're leaving town, there's a few small towns you can stop at. They're all pretty friendly. You can crash here at the guild tonight if you need. Third floor is housing. Just make sure to sign up at the front desk, and they'll get you set up with keys. Past that, you will have the usual three meals provided for you here at the guild, depending on whatever they're cooking. So feel free. If you want any extra food, though, you get basically 3 vouchers a day. Past that, you can either pay for it or find somewhere around town. Which, it's, and he looks towards the wall where you can see a mechanical clock ticking away. Looks like it's roughly about 7:30, almost 8. Nightlife should be kicking off if you'd like to go have fun. Just make sure to keep an eye on your coin purse, and if you see anything suspicious, let town guard know or come to us.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
No worries.
I'm taking half an hour.
I do have manacles if you ever want them.
Oh, before you go, if anyone of you like, try kelp snacks.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yes.
sure.
Yes.
Yep.
Kelp
It
helps.
may not be much, but kelp may help you.
That's our boss.
That was my slogan too. Whenever I was running for this position, the kelp helps. It's always a good slogan.
Thanks. I'm gonna take a little key pass, but I'll put
Yes.
something.
It has a nice salty, sweet kind of flavor. If you've ever had dry seaweed, it's similar to that, but a little bit more savory.
Oh, that's nice.
Very
I'm
nice.
gonna like slightly lift the mask and you just see a green puff of smoke. And then I eat it. It's poison spray.
Kachu's gonna look towards you and go,
I like a little more flavoring.
if you could, stay behind.
Understood.
Okay.
Just gnawing on it. Just
And
because
if I could, as y'all leave the room, or like the Kachu's office, if I could get you to go to the front room.
Oh shit. Okay.
Oh.
Secret.
Secrets!
Secret.
Secret tunnel.
Secret.
tunnel.
Secret.
you get to hear it, you better not.
You get to stay.
Yeah.
And I guess we are no longer mind linked.
Nope, I'm just gonna.
Alright.
Give it a second. So, does the rest of your party know what's underneath those bandages?
No. And I intend to keep it.
No, that's fine. I can respect that. If I may ask, is there a reason you hide your reptilian features underneath that?
People want to fight, and I'd rather not have them fight.
Oh, fair enough.
Me or anyone I'm associated.
Well, just remember, you're a member of this guild, and we will do everything we can to protect our members.
Much appreciated.
So, if
Your
you-
master.
Oh, I'm not your guild master. I'm just a branch head.
Nevertheless, it is very much reassured.
Just if you feel like there's something bothering you, a little more close to home, feel free to write a message to your local guild. You should be able to do things. Or show up in person.
I'll keep that in.
In that case, you can go ahead and join your friends. I just wanted to make sure everything was okay.
Very well. How does the kelp taste anyway with poison spray?
It just kind of tastes like mush at this point. It was dried already, so you just kind of dusted it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just went.
You want another one?
Many.
Okay, y'all.
Is the hammer eight?
You up?
There's a kitty cat that went in before us.
Yeah, it's alright. She'll just be in here.
Spray.
She'll just be in here.
The entire chat's gonna be like, kitty cat, we want to see.
Kitty.
So I'm guessing, because we were talking about this, obviously we can't go watch the VOD now.
Yep.
So,
It's fine. I'll timestamp it if I get around to it.
okay.
So,
It just says spoiler.
yeah.
Chat, no spoilers. Don't be posting stuff in the chat either.
No spoilers.
Don't
No.
get on the chat.
I'm not gonna chat. I'm
Okay.
okay. My character sheet.
At this point, the door opens back up, and Strella comes walking out with another piece of kelp in her hand. Voila! Bye! As the receptionist just kind of waves y'all down the stairs.
What's the?
Food probably. I don't know if most of us have probably not eaten today.
Just gnawing.
Except for whatever lunch we had on the boat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
I mean, you've had some food.
Yeah, I know.
You had some pot roast,
This is
potatoes,
probably-
and
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
the rations we
Pot
have.
roast. It's just killed.
Okay,
I would say better than my mother used to make, but.
So, yeah, Rhoda's gonna go down to the 3rd floor, sign in, get the voucher, and go ahead and have the meal here. And then, depending on
the
serving,
sign-in desk would be the first floor desk,
okay.
the receptionist desk.
So depending on the size of the serving, will depend on whether or not he's gonna find something else to eat that day as well.
They do kind of. So as y'all get checked in, is there anything that y'all want to do while at the desk? Anything to ask? It's different people at this time.
Okay.
Basically, you came at the end of their shifts. So
That sucks.
Oh, great. We'll go on that life and meet them in a bar.
sitting at the desk is Wood Elf, and then male Wood Elf, and then 2 female humans.
Guild girl.
This isn't an abridged series.
I know.
So y'all get checked in. You each have to get checked in under your own name, since you don't have a group affiliate yet. And they each give you your key and everything, and with that, they hand you 3 vouchers that you can either, and they let you know you can either use them throughout the day or you can hold on to them, and they don't expire.
Oh, nice.
The guild vouchers only work in the Adventuring Guild, so it's not like you can go spend them like 10 years. But they do let you know that if you don't eat a lot, you don't have to worry about these expiring anytime soon.
I only have one question. We heard something about some Olympiad Games or something. When do those take place?
So I'd assume the Wood Elf would have been the one that was just kind of doing head games. Well, old man, you know, we carry around these Olympian Games. It's kind of a partnership between each of the guilds here in town. You might be able to find either a sponsor, or you may be able to work your way up through the guild if you've only just signed up. How long have you been in the guild?
About 3 years now.
Oh, all right. Yeah, no, then you ain't got any worry about that. You can just sign up with your own team. Do you have a team?
Depends on what the game is going to involve.
Well, we have one of speed, one of strength, and then one of charisma, is what we like to call it.
Give me a moment. I don't want to look at all of you guys and go, well, I don't know if we could all compete on the same team, or rather we could, but I don't think we do very good at it, because some of us would be better at strong, some would be better at charisma. So,
How do we wish to do this?
Did they also mention dex?
No, it was speed. Well, speed. So yes.
You can run how fast?
Yeah, pretty freaking fast. Meta knowledge. With movement and dash action. 70 feet.
Okay. I move at 90, so that's the same.
What's your base walking speed?
35.
35? You move faster than 70.
You can use Step of the Wind. You can use.
Oh yeah.
If you remember, full action run is 4 times your speed.
Oh.
It's 4 times your movement speed.
Okay.
Hold
Yeah.
on. I
Yeah,
gotta math this.
Math.
Hold on. So
140 for Linus. Base speed of 30?
Yes.
That'd be 120.
120.
120 if I need to.
I can dash.
Most
And
everybody
then
else
bonus
is
action dash.
120.
Yeah.
Just as a comment aside, as a DM,
Sorry.
for those who, don't worry. I've had engineers sitting at my table before, and I found that simple addition is something that also has to be worked on. So, for those of you watching, never feel bad if it takes you a minute to have to calculate 30 plus 30 plus 30 plus 30. All right. So y'all are still discussing it. Are you gonna ask the receptionist more questions?
Yeah.
or-
I'm gonna look back at the funny talking what else and be like, as a team, would we have to compete in all 3, or we could only compete in 1 challenge?
Just to keep it fair with how many people there are that normally show up for these games, you gotta choose one team for one event.
Are there any teams out there that are posting that they are looking for somebody to fill out their rosters for various events?
No, man, considering these are mostly between guildmates, that tends to be pretty easily met.
Give me another moment.
All right.
So we have 2 very fast people. We have 1 strong person, and then 1 very charismatic person, and then
You'll
1
handle the
deadly
bets.
person.
You'll handle the bets.
I mean,
Your bets.
the real question is, do we have time? Because Eddie's gonna be leaving in like a day and a half.
We don't even know how long it'll take for us to get to the.
We don't know how long it's gonna take to take and get. No, like, we don't know
Yeah,
how long it's
exactly.
gonna take in like win these events.
Eddie might be leaving on his own. We might have to find our own ways of travel.
Yeah.
But we still should find him and let him know.
Yeah. So he's
How
not like
hard could
waiting
it be
around
to
for us
find
to
a
take
Yeti?
and go back. So
I mean, not too hard considering he's probably at the docks.
yeah. I don't know. I asked Rob, like, did he ask when they were? Like, are they like now or are they
And
in a
also,
week?
when does sign-ups for it close?
I'm gonna forward those questions to the elf.
Tomorrow when signups close thing.
I don't really think we have the time.
Yeah, that is fair. Okay,
Get a bet on it. So maybe.
well, to dinner then.
And as y'all are kind of walking away, we do hold the games like every quarter of the year. If you're interested, you can always come back.
Good to know.
Good to know.
You're quite welcome. So, are y'all heading towards the gathering hall behind the desk, or y'all heading out to the town? What are we doing?
I'm going to the cafeteria or wherever that is to get.
Yeah, they would just be around the
Yeah.
corner from the main
Gotta
desk.
go get food.
Food.
It's a bit more lively now. At this point, there's people who are coming back from doing their various quests or missions. It's pretty lively. You can see quite a mix of different kinds of people. If you're looking for any type of person specifically, you can roll me a perception check. Tell me what you're trying to find. But for the most part, it looks like a pretty big cacophony of all different races and all different types. Looks like the food's coming out pretty quick. There's a few more guild hands that are kind of helping to bring food out to tables, drinks, make sure refills are taken care of. But you can at least find a couple open tables in this pretty massive dining area.
I don't think it's like I'm not planning on anything. Let's try that again. I'm not planning on doing anything too eventful unless y'all want to go out on town or anything.
I need to look into something, but I'll probably keep it close tonight.
So as you come walking in, I'm going to go ahead and give you a chance to see them. Roll me a perception check.
That's a 19.
19 total? Okay, yeah. You can actually see them approaching you. They kind of come off from a side. Brother! As you see two Minotaur paladins of your order coming up to you.
Brothers indeed!
And so just a big embrace
Yes.
on the hug.
There's 3 of them.
There's one that has kind of more of a curled ox horn look, and then another one who was blessed with large horns, to say the least. Designed kind of after a Texas Longhorn.
A bit too much glory for my taste.
The Longhorn designed one, who was the one who spoke up whenever you saw them coming. Brother, what brings you here?
And do I obviously recognize them. What are their names?
You would recognize Rhyme and Drought.
Ryan and Drought.
Okay. Rhyme being the longhorn steer, and then Drought being the one with more curled ox.
Okay. Ryan, Drought, I have not seen you in quite some time. I have actually come here on assignments from one Asier de Leon.
We don't necessarily know that name, but I'm happy for you.
That's a lot of.
I see your wards are still doing fine.
Yes, the quest continues.
John just, sup? Molly, hi. Well, we were just here making our way to the capital, Dragul. Are you making your way that way by chance?
We actually were. We were going to try to leave there tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. Well, we'll at least meet you there.
Excellent.
We are leaving, and he looks back towards Drought, and Drought pulls out his manifest. 5 days.
5 days. Excellent. Well, do you have any plans for tonight?
We were going to drink and eat our fill, and then we were going to hit to bed for early morning. As you know, glory rises with the sun.
For glory, my
Yeah.
Or you?
And who are these fine people? I see this one is a bit sick of glory. And you would know that Rhyme is almost about 20 years your senior. Like, he would have been there as you started and already kind of in those ranks.
I need more alcohol for this.
I'm assuming you're teaching them the glory that comes with it.
Of course. We have not had very many chances. No glory to be found in a bar fight where we first met, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
But there was glory to be found on the Kraken that we fought.
Oh, you fought the Kraken. We heard tell and we were hoping to hit them with our ship. But no luck. We came across a sea serpent, but no.
Did you see a blue drake by any chance?
We see many as we come in there. The Coast Guard's a trick.
Well, this one managed to go and save our ship, as it were. I, for one, wanted to turn back and finish the Kraken off, but the captain of the ship...
No lack of glory for turning from what a fight a dragon has to do.
Of course, I still now have 2 of its tentacles under my belt.
Ah, there it is. Yes.
But our journey has only just begun. These are my traveling companions and names all around. And
Nice to meet each of you, and Drought. Nice to meet all
Hello.
Glory. Well, we were going to order a round of drinks for our brothers at the table, and he points over, and you can see, and whenever he says brothers, it's the royal brothers. You see female oxen minotaur sitting at the table with a giant slung battle axe on her back. You see a slightly smaller for minotaur. These are pygmy, based off the pygmy bull. Sitting there, who looks like he has 2 swords sheathed behind his back and basically a bandolier of daggers. And then you see another female bull based off of a yak, who are just sitting at the table raising drinks towards you and Drought and Ryan.
it's like, Friends, you'll have to forgive me. It has been over 2 years since I have left my home, and I have not seen Rhyme and Drought. What has it been? 8 months? A year? At least?
Have fun
At
with your
least,
Lord.
no! There's no
No.
glory in sacrificing your friends' enjoyment. Come! They're more than welcome to drink with us. And coming, like, and even over the chatter in the room, like, this is a far table by about, like, 10 or 12 tables from y'all. You can hear the other paladins sitting at the table going, "Yes, come drink with us! Come! You can sit next to me!" As the oxen woman is, like, welcoming you over to the table. Like, there's people sitting near them that are just kind of, like, looking back at them, but they're like, eh.
Don't want to say anything. about
Anyone?
that.
That's too much glory for me.
Too much glory or too much paladin?
Yes.
Yes.
Of course it would be 20 years. As you see Brutus walking past you. I'll take you up on that drink. As
Have fun.
Rhyme looks over.
I'm going.
Of course, Brutus, come with us.
Well,
You should have seen this one on the ball quite the other day. It was beautiful.
I'm going elsewhere.
well, I know what I'm going to go spend the night. I cannot talk tonight. I know what I'm
Your
going to spend.
night doing?
Yes, catching up with
Uh,
old friends and brothers.
John's gonna speak up. And what about us? We can't exactly drink.
You can
Have
have
you not heard of the wonderful thing called root beer?
apple juice. Apple juice.
And Molly just putting a comforting hand on her brother. It's okay, John. We'll be fine. He doesn't normally get too intoxicated.
John, Molly, if you wish, you can seek enjoyment elsewhere as long as you stay with our friends. Or
John's gonna walk over and go, I don't need all this excitement. Linus, you doing anything?
Just
What do you say?
Just like cheesy.
I gotta take an answer questions to the front desk, but other than that, I'm pretty much good for the night.
Okay, I'm gonna stick with Linus.
Fair enough.
I brought the Parcheesi. Joe starts to walk up. Molly's, I don't necessarily want to be around a lot of loud people. The ship ride's still kind of weighing on me.
Fair enough.
You gonna
Victoria,
hang
are
with us?
you doing anything?
Psychics.
She wants to pick me.
Well, that one scares her.
Uh-huh.
And
Hey,
you're standing next to her,
Yeah.
so it's kind of a thing of
both of us?
Yeah. The
choosing.
grave cleric and the scary snake lady.
Yeah.
Snake.
Yeah, so she's just kind of picking what she assumes to be the safest option.
We're gonna go out in town or am I gonna get drunk?
Well, I'm just going to go somewhere quiet.
That works for me. Quiet would be nice.
Yes.
Let's go out to town. We'll have adventures and psychic gossip.
Yeah.
Psychic gossip.
Psychic gossip.
We can spill the tea, as your voice in your head speaks up.
Yes.
So, as each of you kind of go your separate way, you with essentially Brutus at this point walking over with your two brothers sitting at the table. Then we have Strella and Evangeline. Are y'all just kind of going out on the town, seeing what you can find?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. And then Molly and Victorian are kind of finding a more quiet. Are y'all just kind of like chilling in the living quarters, or?
I was gonna go out on the town, but find kind of a quieter
Okay,
area.
looking more towards the more quote unquote classy side of town.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
I have
And
my hood up.
Linus, what was your plan after going to the receptionist? Because at this point, John's just kind of following with you.
Right.
Amazing.
I'm gonna take and I'm just gonna ask him. It's like, well, what do you like to do? Because my plan last time didn't work out too good.
I actually don't know too much. We're normally on the road a lot. We've been with Rope for a while, but we haven't had much time to really stay in one place.
Oh.
So whatever's happening in town, I guess we can try to find something.
Yeah.
Evangeline's more expressive. You could just say, "We're going bar hopping."
Still can't drink.
Apple juice.
Still a teenager.
So we can go check out some stuff and just kind of like keep to the safer parts of town and just like see what's going on.
Okay.
Safer parts, yeah. Huh.
So are you heading more towards the docks? Or are you gonna
Yeah.
go for the market square or some of the
Kind of the
more of the living area of the town?
kind of the market square.
Okay, so just kind of staying between the guilds.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're trying to find more of the class side, which would be more
Yeah.
towards the living side,
Mhm.
like the living quarters side of town. So where nicer houses tend to be, there's nicer markets.
Mhm.
Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and do this real quick, just to kind of find a fast forward way for some of this to go. Rote, since you are with well-known brothers, essentially family, go ahead and roll a charisma check or performance if you're proficient with it, to see how your night goes.
Okay, let me find out which one I'm better at.
And I will let one of you roll a base D20 to see what all you can find. And with advantage.
Oh, with advantage,
We're
okay.
going to be general. We don't know the place, so we might get lost.
Your dice might be
So
better than
charisma
mine, I
or
think.
Who knows?
Sure,
Both pretty much
They're
know
both the same, so that's gonna be a 16.
So we both can roll?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we roll and take the one's higher one?
Sure. Well, I'll give you pseudo advantage.
Pseudo advantage?
So take the higher rolls.
No.
Nope.
The highest roll.
What's yours?
8.
10.
8, 10.
We end up getting more cheesy.
Go ahead and just roll me a performance check, because I know you're proficient with it.
A 15.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. And then, since you've kind of already hung out with John before and you're trying to find something that he might be entertained by, I'll let you roll with advantage with a base charisma or performance if you're proficient.
Woo!
So with advantage.
I like that voice. What's on board?
Where the fuck it go? Okay, so dirty 20.
Dirty. Okay. All right. So you said you got a
16.
16. So yes, your night is spent with much merriment,
average night.
drinking. Stories are being exchanged from each of your brothers,
Not much
adventures and team ups and everything. And
I
You're-
do ask about how my parents are doing, so.
of course. And so as it goes through the night, when you find an opening for it, you ask how your parents are. And Ryan is the first one to speak up, still with a jovial tune. They're doing great. Your father has been doing quite well around the monastery as well as your mother.
Excellent.
They haven't had much venturing, quote unquote, but they've been doing well with the community.
Okay. That is good news. I was hoping that my past deeds, as it were, did not bring them too much shame.
No, we each have our histories. And there's many things that we make up for when it comes to our ancestry. But it's... Your parents have done good.
Excellent.
So, while they may have had some things to say about your past deeds, just know that they still love you.
Oh, I knew that. I knew that I may have brought some dishonor to them. I knew they would never stop loving me. There was never a doubt in my mind. I was just hoping, I was just making sure that the rest of my brothers and everything. Well, as I'm sitting here with you all, I understand that forgiveness is earned. And I'm glad that you guys are still accepting me as your own.
Well, of course. And they raise their mugs of ale into the air to clink, and they're waiting
To glory!
to glory, to glory, to glory.
Is that the pygmy?
To glory. Brutus joins in.
The piggy.
The pig people.
Pass on.
So, following up with Strella and Evangeline, as y'all are just kind of randomly strolling around, you come across what looks to be a circle of people, but they're kind of keeping to the perimeter. You can't necessarily see what's going on in the middle of it. You're still kind of pushing your way through.
Let's go.
So, as you kind of push your way closer, kind of like civilians gawking at police scenes situation, you see about 4 guardsmen trying to deal with a group of unruly teenagers who are causing some serious damage to one of the stall areas. They're kind of in like the slum part.
We're lost, boyo.
When you all come up, one of the guards that you see is actually the halfling from earlier today.
Mhm.
And he walks over and he looks pretty beat up himself. Like they're trying to detain these guys without killing them, essentially. He's going to look at each of you and go, "It's a good thing that y'all are here. We could really use your help. Here." And with that, he's handing each of you batons. So they do no lethal damage. No lethal damage.
Okay. Am I proficient in baton?
So, both of you, you'll have proficiency with them. It's a base martial.
So for those of you in chat or those watching this, you're wondering, well, most of these people are freaking out. It goes back to another campaign, and we'll just leave it at that. This one, we'll see if it's a repeat.
So, each of you roll me a basic attack. So, and this will use Dex or Strength. It's
Strength.
versatile.
Yeah, I'm using
I'm using strength.
I'm using Dex on that. Oh,
Wow.
All right.
Well, we're off to a good start at a repeat.
Uh-huh.
Let's see if we got Pete and
Alright,
repeat.
16.
16 total. All right. So, for a total of
20. Wait.
double your
28.
mod. 28.
Yes.
All right. So, you're going through there, and like a couple of the teenagers try to come running up to you, and y'all have dealt with worse through your years. And Evangeline, you're able to kind of whack him on the back of the knee, knocking him down as you're then able to restrain him. And one of the guards comes running over, putting manacles on him.
I got manacles too.
All right, and you start putting your own manacles on him.
I'll need it back though. I'll need it back.
You have a couple of the rowdy teenagers come running up to you. One of them's wielding a crowbar. You go to hit them to incapacitate him as he puts up the crowbar to block, but you hit with such dexterity that you hit it at just the right bend point that you can actually see the crowbar bend and hit him as it knocks him unconscious. The other
I hope
one,
this
seeing
doesn't
what
hurt
happened,
you.
just kind of gets down on his knees and puts his hands up and behind his head.
I'm out.
I hope he has good dental insurance. He's gonna have to go to the barber though.
He's gonna have to go to the barber.
It does take a little bit longer, about 10-15 minutes before it's finally able to get quelled down. But each of you were able to help the guards. The halfling that y'all first ran into comes up. All right, thank y'all so much for the help. Here, and he writes a slip down. Take this to any of the guards' headquarters, and you'll be compensated for your time.
Not a problem.
All right.
Whew, that could have turned out bad. Thank y'all for coming by.
Oh, we
No
were
problem.
just,
Most skilled
Thanks,
people
Gordon.
don't tend to come to the slums for their evening entertainment.
we're
There's a
lost.
couple.
Oh,
Oh,
We got lost.
oh. You can come back with us to a station. We can get you to a better part of town.
Sounds good.
Well,
Alright.
what did you say about a couple? Wait, what?
we're lost, dude.
Oh, well.
No, we're not.
And so, well, what?
I thought you said something about a couple.
No,
Oh, okay.
no. He's just saying that we can get you back to the police station and get you to a safer part of town.
Okay.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
We'll get this out of the way too. The slip.
Yeah.
Over there.
And so with that, y'all are starting to head back that way.
All right.
Is there anything?
Um,
You have a chance for roleplay here if you want.
would I be able to get my manacles back? My personal manacles that I used on this guy?
We can just trade you out if you'd like.
Sounds good.
All right.
No, it's.
Oh, and here's the key for that one.
Thanks.
You might need that.
He puts it into his pouch.
Well, that could have gone worse.
A lot worse.
Certainly one of the few times I enjoyed.
Are you chaotic neutral?
Huh?
Are you chaotic neutral? Your alignment?
I tried.
But thank y'all again for coming down to this part of town. It makes it a lot easier on us guards if there's someone from the Adventurers Guild.
Not a problem.
Not at
Glad to
all.
help.
So with that, y'all are kind of making your way through the slums and get to at least one of the police headquarters. You're both, no, not both, but you're given a sack that's containing 5 silver for your troubles.
Alright.
Cool. Well, let's go find a good bar now.
Yeah.
Are you gonna ask one of the guards, or are you just gonna try and find it?
I'm not very smart.
So
I can't even say I have a 14 intelligence.
So are you stopping to ask the guard? Or you just gonna go, all right, we'll see you, and then
And back.
I'm gonna ask.
Sorry.
So, where are some good places to see the nightlife? Are there any concerts or anything like that?
just with y'all being in the slums, it's just like, what type of nightlife?
Not that.
The whole betting side.
Like in the marketplace, is there any sort of concerts or anything going on? Or
I mean, you can always check out towards the Merchants Guild if there's any entertainment. They normally have the best. If you just want a simple tavern or a bar, you can go up about 4 blocks north of here, and there's plenty of that way.
Listen, this is a city. Strella's not a city girl, okay? She's from the out.
The desert boonies.
Yeah, she's from the boonies. You're literally grabbing her before she could just go.
Well, if you need anything else, just let us know.
alrighty, thank you. And we're gonna head out toward the
Merchants, yeah.
Okay.
Merchants Guild.
So yeah, y'all are able to at least kind of find your way, occasionally asking a guard for proper directions as you get lost.
She is.
Yes, she is.
I am.
And you do find your way there. It looks like they have a few different talents around the main square playing. Like there seems to be a stage at the northeast, southeast, southwest, and northwest corners, with different bards playing different songs.
Cool.
And there's a lot of food stalls open, as well as ones that are carrying different ales, both imported and local. Then there's also what looks to be some that are still selling wares, like house trinkets, but nothing that seems, pertinent to an adventurer here. This seems to be more of like a come buy this exquisite vase for your home kind of stalls.
I don't have a home, so.
So, with that, we will then go to Victorin and Molly.
Okay.
And you said you got a 15?
Yes.
Okay. And you were just trying to find a nice, quiet place, kind of in the more classy area of town?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to kind of find your way there as you stop occasionally to ask a local who looks decently well dressed, and they point you in the right direction. As you reach about central north of the city, so you're about 10 to about 12 blocks north of the Adventurers Guild itself. As you find yourself in what looks to be, firstly, a well-lit area. There's not a single sight of oil-lit lights or anything like that. Like, this is all electronics. Early-based electronics, incandescent light, not incandescent light bulbs, but like Edison light bulbs and stuff like that are illuminating the streets here. If someone were to wake up out of a coma, they would probably think it was daytime before they saw the sky. So, and there's music playing from multiple different venues, and all these, what to most would be exotic foods being cooked with, to some unknown spices, to others who are a bit more well-traveled, to what would be known as
Delicacies?
delicacy spices, thank you, to those who are more well-traveled.
Okay.
This is inexpensive part of town, Molly pipes up.
Yes, it is. But like where I'm from,
It must be hard to get some sleep with all this light.
You get used to it.
Well, I am kind of hungry. We haven't really eaten. So,
I'm sure there's some food booths around.
I figured we all got food together whenever I got the lunch vouchers and everything.
no, you not. You were the only one to sit down to have a meal and drinks.
Oh, I figured they. Okay.
That's when John was like, I can't drink.
Oh, well, I figured they at least. Okay, never mind.
So, you wouldn't see any like food stalls like you normally would in more of the mid-class areas. These are mainly just restaurants.
Okay. Well, we can hop into a restaurant or something.
And the main thing that you've noticed from whenever you're coming up this way, just like how the guild halls look like they were carved out of a single stone, it looks like a lot of these businesses and homes have been carved out of the same marble, almost as if at one point there was a mountain or a massive hill that this town was carved from.
Okay. But yes, there's lots of restaurants around here, and
You would see mostly a lot of seafood-based ones, but with this being a wealthy part of town, you would get an understanding that you could just about find anything you wanted here.
so take your pick.
I haven't really eaten at any places like this that I can remember. We've been on the road for a while with my brother. He's a little bit older than me. He might know what he would like from these restaurants, but I'm more used to venturing guild food or temple food or the occasional food stall.
You're 4 dear. We're going to
I mean,
one of the nicer looking places.
Okay, just roll me a perception check.
Okay.
I'll give you advantage since you're from upper crust society.
Cool. 12.
12. I mean, all of these are kind of nice restaurants to begin with, so your baseline here is still upper class dining. So you find one that you see the name kind of gives you an idea of it's both seafood and land animals. So you decide that might be the best place because it gives the most variety. And as you enter in, it's lively in the sense of it's controlled, like nice, calm conversations being had with people at tables. The occasional family, but it's not like a diner. It's one of those where there's conversation, but you could hear yourself think, even with most of the tables being filled.
Okay.
Standing at the, essentially the podium as you enter is a really well-dressed high elf.
Hello there.
And hello. How may I help you today?
We would like a table if we can.
Let me see here. For how many?
Just 2.
For 2.
Yes.
Let me see here. It looks like we do have some space for you. Would you like to dine in, or would you like to take to go?
I think dining in.
Dining in, would you prefer patio or interior?
What do you think, Molly?
I'm hungry?
Interior then.
Very well. And he writes down a table. What's going to be the name for the table?
Timothy.
Timothy.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see what you did there.
He's going to notice the confused look on Molly's face. Timothy. Okay. Not my place to ask. So, and with that, he closes the book. And as he does, a waft of air that normally, for as soft as he closed it, wouldn't have naturally came out. But as he does, air wafts out and almost turning into a tangible form, takes the form of essentially a homebrewed spell, but what's known as a tangible serpent. And it takes a incorporeal form, so it doesn't have anything past a base humanoid form, but it has what looks to be white gloves, a suit, and very nice, well-signed shoes. And welcomes you to have a seat and starts walking.
Guess you just use his bill. You don't have to pay the wait staff.
And with that, he pulls your seats for you, and as soon as you're seated and comfortable, he vanishes.
Molly dear, I use
What was
the,
with the name?
you see, whenever you come from higher class such as myself, sometimes you have to have an alias.
Okay.
Yes. As to not completely alert everyone of your existence.
Roll me a deception check.
There we go.
Out of character, how true is that? Or is this just all BS?
Yikes.
So what'd you roll?
Do what? Oh, okay. Okay, fine.
That is a 24.
24. Yeah, that beats the 5.
Yikers.
So, you can tell that she's completely believing you. She doesn't necessarily have as deep of a grasp on high society as you do, but she's following you and learning. Okay. Well, how do you order at one of these places?
So, here's a menu, and
Okay, so there's I know what a menu is.
it's
Do
like
we- Do they send someone over to the
Yes,
table
yes,
or?
yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay, so it's just like a normal
just a normal
restaurant.
restaurant. Yes.
Okay. And she's just kind of looking around at all of the, like, her clothing isn't bad. It's well kept and nice, but compared to the upper class clothing that she's seeing around her, roll me a insight check as you're watching her. 13. You get the sense that she doesn't feel welcomed in an establishment like this. Like she doesn't feel like everyone's staring at her, kind of, but you can tell that she keeps glancing at her clothes, which is kind of like a middle class kind of clothing, and then looking at the upper crust clothing.
I'm going to cast minor illusion on her clothing
Okay.
and make it look really nice.
All right. She notices the spell going off around her. As you cast it, as you're a bard, how is it casted?
So I take my
You can do a vocal, like you don't
Yeah,
have to always play
yeah.
an instrument.
yeah, no, I just kind of mutter something under my breath, and then
Kind of a hum or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you purposely trying to control the volume on it, or to where she can't hear it, or are you just trying to keep it quiet?
I'm just trying to keep quiet.
Go ahead and just roll me a stealth check, and I'll give you an additional +4 to it.
Oh, cool.
Since there's a chance people can hear it, but you're not trying to be super stealthy.
Okay, so that's 25.
25. All right. So, yeah. If anyone does hear you, it just sounds like you were singing a melody that was stuck in your head, like humming to it. And she, looking at the clothing starting to form around her, she's a little off put for a second because there's a spell being activated around her.
Mm-hmm.
But then she kind of looks over to you. And says, "Thank you."
Awesome.
And with
Boy,
that,
boy.
And with that, a waiter does come by, and you're able to order for your meal for the night. So,
I'm trying to be a Prince Charming here.
we pick up with Linus and
Never home
John.
at 9.
And your main goal after getting towards the desk was what again?
Well, I had something to do with the desk.
We'll still do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But
Just like go out towards like not the upper crust part of town, but just like but keeping him out of slums, keeping him out of trouble, out of danger.
yeah.
Yeah, don't be like us.
Police brutality. Yeah, no, just keeping to the center market here.
Okay. So as you're going out, now I want y'all to keep in mind, I had to roll A, perception check for this, and then B, I rolled a D4 to see which group he would spot. And as y'all are kind of walking around in the little marketplace area, well, ain't you a sight for sore eyes, Linus?
He bought the Portuguese.
John. Hey, Eddie.
Hey.
So how's your days been?
Just getting business taken care of. Probably gonna take in have to head more towards interior. Probably head over to Driggle.
Okay, well, I have a little bit of business here in the guild. If you want to wait for me, I don't know what you're planning, but I was just needing to talk with the receptionists over here.
I'll look at John. Insight check to see how John's reacting.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Just roll me an insight check.
Aw.
I'm trying.
He always gets
Oh,
That's cocked. That is so cocked.
Yeah, that was nice.
I'm so good too. Damn it.
Yeah, always gets the short end of the deal.
That's it's a 25.
25?
Yeah.
So, you see him sigh real quick, but for a split second, you spot a smile in his face. But then it goes back to his normal expression.
Got it.
And with his voice, he looks over and he goes, "Well, if we want, I did bring the Parcheesi game."
Oh,
What a lad.
what a lad.
I look at it and it's like, only if you want to know.
I guess.
I understand. I'll be on the road. May not have time to just take and hang out and relax.
Fair enough.
Alright.
And so with that, y'all, you needing to talk to a receptionist and Eddie needing to talk to another one, y'all are at the counter. Looks like Eddie went to stop to talk to the far right, which was one of the female human receptionists. Do you choose the wood elf or the other female?
Don't choose the one.
Leo, how you been, man?
He's doing pretty good. Hey, this is my first time like really like journeying outside of my hometown.
Oh, well, congratulations, man. I know it can be a little bit dangerous.
Yeah. Is there any way that I might be able to take and send some money back, like back home, and like
Oh, like a MoneyGram?
yeah,
Yeah, no, we can do that for you, man.
yeah. And I take and I.
Here, and he hands you a slip that includes an envelope, and it just asks amount sending and address, and then name.
Okay. I take and I will send 20 gold.
Alright. And there's only a 2 silver delivery fee. Thing, you know, you gotta decide where you send it to.
Make sure that I get the name
Free.
right. Yeah. I'm gonna take and stick it right in there. Is it alright? Because this isn't going physically, right? It's just exchanging here and then exchanging there, right? Or is this actually like delivering to them?
Oh, you want to do a banknote or?
Just something I can take and like add a note to.
Oh, like you're wanting to be able to get to them and then you can, like a message.
Yes.
Oh yeah, they go man, no problem. Just go ahead and you can write inside there and we'll make sure a message gets sent out.
Alright. Appreciate it. I'm gonna take and write the two, Mr. Squirrel. I'll write the address and just a note. It says, "It ain't much. Hope to send more soon."
And he takes it from you, wraps it, puts a wax seal on it, and sets it into a special box and just says outgoing, essentially.
Appreciate it.
Hey, no problem, man. If you need anything else, you know you can out to us.
I take and I wait with John for Eddie.
Eddie just kind of finishes his business up just as yours is finishing.
Okay.
Alright, do y'all have a place to play?
I mean, we could probably take him to it here in the guild if you want, or we could take him and go someplace else. You know, because you've been here before, right? Eddie?
Nope.
This is, I mean, not like here to the guild, but like to rock.
Nope, this is my first time too.
I thought you said that you and your brother took and like made trips up here.
We did.
Okay.
Okay.
Take and like take and find
We haven't exactly explored the city though.
it's fair. I take in like find like a decent place for him. And like would they? Because I'm assuming like the adventure.
I mean, you have a living quarters that you can go
Oh,
to.
yeah, yeah.
It has a table. It has all the creature comforts.
Well, I was gonna take in like before we took and we like actually went up top because I know that John hadn't eaten yet. We're gonna take and Eddie, did you eat yet?
Oh, I mean, I can eat.
All right, so does the Adventurers Guild like serve food like 24/7?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's there's adventuring guild members that come in
Like,
all
good
hours
food,
of the
yeah.
day, so they always keep the kitchen going.
I take and I find somebody, turn my free archers and get like up to free cheese. So
And off in the distance, as you're getting your food, you can hear "To glory!" Yes.
he always that loud.
Who are you asking?
Like I'm asking John.
John. He's actually being kind of controlled right now.
Damn.
But he's good.
Yeah.
It's in one of our feasts at the
Yeah, compared to one of these months, this is calm.
Wait, do you guys have complimentary earplugs?
But yeah, no. Once we get done eating,
There's a reason the living quarters are on the third floor, not the floor adjacent to the gathering area.
once we get done with this, we'll take room area and
Okay. So you go up to the room and it has enough chairs that it kind of sits on the bed. As there's normally only like 2 chairs at the table, so you'll just kind of scoot it over. John and Eddie and you just kind of set up the board, get everything, all the pieces on there. And as the night goes on, the merriment had at your table eventually dwindles down.
Can't drink
as-
too much as we have travels to have.
Oh, there's still plenty of drinking, but it's later in the evening.
Yeah.
The two of you do find the entertainment towards the guilds, and it tends to be a pretty peaceful time. This area, especially, there's not a whole lot that ne'er-do-wells would like to do near the guilds so much. But you do find some good foods. I would say for your drinks were covered by essentially one of your higher-ranking brothers. For just the simple night of entertainment, the 5 silver alone would cover everything.
Woo!
So essentially, no extra money taken off just the 5 silver.
I have plenty of money taken off to me already.
Yeah,
You have to beat up hooligans and have profit.
For the nice meal and some fine drinks, non-alcoholic, of course, for Molly. It marks off about 5 gold.
Okay.
And for the nice simple night of getting meal vouchers to take food up to the room and everything, doesn't cost you anything. as the nights kind of come to a close and Rock has gone up to his living quarters, just kind of waiting for John and Molly eventually to show up. Strella and Evangeline heading to theirs, be it more around 2 in the morning after all the entertainment has slowed down. And as Victoria and Molly are kind of making their way back, almost in a weird sense, and this is something that's happening because you both rolled really well on what you'd be doing. Molly and John both start to talk to both the two of you. Had they been side by side, it would have almost sounded like it was the same conversation. Molly starting off as you're walking back. She just kind of look over you and go, "For as much as I'm a fish out of water, I don't want you to get the wrong idea about Will. He has tried his best to take care of us ever since our dad died. So I do appreciate you for tonight, but don't let my enviness of the upper crusts make you think any worse on him."
I don't.
And it hands to John. I'll admit, Parcheesi is kind of fun. But I know before I said that we didn't really have much of a chance to do much, as we've kind of been with Rolf for a good portion of our lives here. My sister kind of having less of a personal experience with a home life since her dad died. But I want you to know that Rolf's taking good care of us. For as much crap as I may give him, he's done good for what he's done for us. Cutting back to Molly, as y'all are getting a bit closer to the guild building. I know things may not seem like it's the best. It's kind of weird seeing a Minotaur with 2 centaurs, but Lot's done a lot of good for us. I know things started off rocky, at least my brother was telling me. But for whatever happened, my brother said, don't ever feel upset. And I don't understand it, but I want to pass that on to you. Don't get upset with Rolf for us not necessarily being in the upper crust of things. I know he can be loud. I know it can be frustrating with the whole glory aspect, but he's a good guy. And as far as the whole racial outburst thing earlier today, I'm willing to overlook it, but just don't put that malice towards Rolf. That's the only thing I ask.
I don't feel anything of the sort for Rose like that.
Good. And then it's cutting back to John. Just because it's 2 conversations similarly happening, so I'm trying to keep it balanced between them. John just kind of finishing putting up the Parcheesi board and everything back into the box. It's not my place to go into it. But Rolf essentially promised mine and Molly's dad, and my dad, that he would take care of us. And I think he's done a good job so far. I just ask, don't tell him I told you this. I don't want him getting soft. But thank you for introducing me to Parcheesi. Eddie's a pretty cool guy.
Yes. He's a good one too.
And then cutting back to Molly as y'all are entering the guild. Just, if I could, just ask to be patient with my brother. He's had to, for as much as Rolf's watched after us, he's had to watch after me. So if he's ever kind of short with you or anything like that, just know it's coming from a good place at least.
Understood.
But I think Rolf's probably waiting up for us still, if the drinks haven't put him to sleep. But You have a good night, Victoria. I had fun. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And with that, she goes trotting up the stairs to the living quarters. And John, as he's moving towards the door, again, Linus, thanks.
No problem, man.
And with that, he heads out the room door, and as you go to shut it behind him, you happen to see Victorian passing on his way to his room.
Minus.
And then close the door. Dick.
And with that, Strella and Evangeline are more than likely just conked out. Like, y'all have had a really good fight. Yeah.
Strella, the usual quiet one.
The best way to think of it is like a skilled artisan's weekly wage is 1 gold. So essentially, you just spent half of your wage on a night on the town, like for a skilled artisan. So y'all had a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, passed out in the same room.
Yeah, didn't even go. Y'all just, let's see here, even or odd? Even, okay. So, yeah, y'all pass out in Evangeline's room.
Oh god. I made it to that.
Roll. As John and Molly come in, are you asleep? It's about 3 in the morning.
Oh no, I waited up. They're my wards. I didn't drink that heavily because I knew we were traveling. No, I'm waiting up for the kids.
So yeah, as you hear the door opening, John's the first one walking in and says, "We're back.
Oh, wonderful.
I'm heading to bed." And Molly looks over and goes, "I had a really fun time. I got to eat some really nice food today."
Oh, excellent.
And Molly kind of going into detail with you as John just kind of falls asleep.
Yeah, Rhodes is very much, not dismissive. It's very, very much like, yes, please tell me. It's like, Victoria was a gentleman, yes.
Oh, of course. He did his best to make me feel comfortable.
And you can kind of see just like this, not pained look, but you can tell it. He just has this look of just like, I wish I could do better, kind of look.
She looks over and can, for the split second that it shows on your face, she sees it and she leans in for a hug as you're sitting on the bed and she just, have a good night, bro. And she gives you a hug. And she kind of has to slightly shove her brother over, who's kind of spread eagle out on the bed.
Walks over, grabs sheets, flip.
And she lays down onto the bed and falls asleep.
Yeah.
Anything else before Rolf falls asleep?
He'll polish his horns in the morning. He's gonna go ahead and go to bed.
Okay. So you, after saying Dick as you close the door on Victor, does Linus head to sleep from there? Eddie's been gone for a little bit now. He went back to where he was sleeping.
Here's a mistake, and
I'm just like,
like it is. I mean, I know that this part of town, there's adequate street lighting type thing, but is there is the moon out at all?
Yep.
Like,
I would say it's on its waxing phase, its first waxing phase. So just kind of a sliver of the moon.
The reason why I'm asking is is it shining through a window or something?
Yeah,
Maybe.
but not heavily.
No, not heavily.
Yeah.
I get to where I can see it, and sit down and cross my legs, and I meditate for a good while, just taking into account the day, and just stilling myself before bed, and then just going to bed.
Okay. So Victorian, you more than likely heard the Dick comment as the door shut on you.
Trying to be quiet.
Like I said, I'm not gonna have your roll perception for that. What do you do as you start to walk past?
I just kind of shake my head and keep going and head to my room. set Delilah down next to the bed, and then get ready for bed.
Doesn't take long before everyone's fast asleep. Some faster asleep than others.
You, because that's poison immunity.
Mhm.
Yours just wears off faster.
So,
That's not how it works.
as night comes, morning comes that much quicker. Each of you roll me a wisdom save.
Ooh. Oh, yikes.
That's 20.
Whoa! Natural 20 for a total of
25.
45?
20.
I was about to say what the heck.
Oh,
25.
You double the modifier on a nat 20.
So 30.
30. Alright. Alright.
So,
Anyone get below a 15?
I need a dire roll.
Oh!
Oh!
Dire roll! Dire roll! Dire roll! Dire All right. So,
So that's a whole total of 0.
you're fine. So,
that's fine.
Really?
Yeah,
as
Wait, what? How?
I'll just
I have a negative.
well, remember there's no modifiers to the die.
Well, I'm saying, like, my original roll was a 0.
Oh,
Oh no.
-1.
Oh no!
so you can't get a 0, it'll just be 1. But so,
Fail epically.
Horribly.
Evangeline, Strella, Linus, you each sleep pretty heavily through the night. Your body is easily resting. Yeah, that's right. There's 2. Fine. And fine. Alright. Victorin and Rolt. You. Let's see here. This was.
I tried to be a good person, and this is what I get.
Your dice, haha, suck.
Welcome to my whole past 24 hours.
Pay for them.
Man, it's been a rough day for all three of y'all.
That 20.
Victorin. You find yourselves floating in a vast emptiness. Everywhere, but no one. As your vision slowly comes to your waking eyes, you see each other. But no matter what you try, you always seem to stay far out of reach from each other. You try to speak, but it's almost as if your mouth is muffled before the air can leave your lungs.
Oh, someone finally found a way to shut you up.
As the silence grows into a cacophony of whispers, the void begins to move, almost as if it's an amorphous black void. Each of you roll me a con save.
Leave it at that.
Get a better dice.
The better dice.
It's the better dice.
It's the better dice. Natural.
Nat 20 for a total of? Victorin.
16.
16. You feel for an instant, but you can shake off the sensation. Victorin. By the way, you barely passed. Victorin. This. Since even though you had a fairly hefty meal, it was a fancy restaurant, so it wasn't like a massive dinner plate.
Mhm.
You slowly begin to feel like there's a pit in your stomach. Almost as if you haven't eaten for days. I need each of you to make me a charisma save.
It's a 17.
17?
I am good at that one.
What's yours?
That is math.
What was it on dice?
11.
11 total? You failed this by 1.
Okay.
Even though you feel full, you still have the meal that's in your belly. You begin to drool. In Victorian, you in time begin to drool. As you then look towards the only other thing that you can see in this moving void, each other, and it's almost as if you have a sensation for a split second that you want to eat your friend. And as you can feel as if now with the intent of hunger backing this, it's almost as if you do start to move towards each other. And before you can even make contact, a voice echoes to the void. Hunger. As you wake up. Each in your own rooms, each in your own bed. The food in your stomach, while still being there, you have this lingering sense of starvation. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
What the fuck? It's not cannibalism.
Apparently he can't.
It almost like I'm the DM. So, with that, thank you all for coming by. And we'll have answers this following week. And with that, let's hit the intro on our way out.
Come in, you losers!
D&D, baby!
Let's
I
go!
could've sworn I left that other D4 here, though.
Hey guys!
Fireball.
Hey, how's it going?